4 smash burgers from NFA. Everyone's happy on a Donut Friday when you can go donut burger. So thank you so much, Billy. I did not expect that at all. Vinny Drip came up with Jesus Brady as the forgotten cast member of the Brady Bunch. Vinny Drip definitely getting a star of the show. I am not. I'm still in purgatory, so I'm not getting stars of the show till next week. I'm back in next week. Sam Sweeney, transportation reporter for ABC. Jennifer Jacobs, Capitol Hill reporter for CBS. Some big-name stars on the show today. Melvin Gregg, the actor from The Paper. Phil Rosenthal. And how about Kevin Smith? I'm going to go see him this weekend. Good stuff. Bill Crane. Oh, Bill Crane called us from the ER. Getting prepped to get his pipes clean, whatever that means. All right, Longoria's looking sad. I'll give one to Longoria and Deborah, too. Dag nabbit. I'm going to be up and active on social media all weekend at Mark Arum. Mitch Albom is going to join us on the show on Monday. Stay safe. Have a great Friday, Atlanta.
WSB Atlanta, WSBB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
WSB consumer expert Clark Howard, sponsored by Ragsdale Heating, Air, Plumbing, and Electrical.
There's a lot of lawsuits going on where landlords have been price fixing with each other in an area to try to rip off tenants by pushing rents up. Competitors secretly sharing information to push rents up. One thing you can do is shop around with private landlords. The more you shop outside of the traditional big apartment companies, the more opportunity you're going to find to save money.
Don't wear 4 sweatshirts at home this winter because your old furnace isn't up to snuff. Get a brand new one thanks to my pals at Reliable. Hey, it's Mark Arum with you. Check this amazing offer going on right now. Any size furnace, just $59.99 a month, 0 down, low monthly payments, unbeatable lifetime warranty, next day installation guaranteed, or they pay you $500. ReliableAir.com, book an appointment or call or text 770-594-9969.
News, weather,
Traffic. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
It is 12 o'clock on this Friday, November 7th. Good afternoon. I'm Sabrina Cupid. The news here at noon is sponsored by Jim Ellis Automotive, and our top story, more fallout from the federal government shutdown from frustrated travelers.
You know, I'm just going to let whatever happens, happens.
To those in need of help buying food after SNAP benefits are halted. And in case you're just joining us, the Trump administration has now asked a federal appeals court to block a judge's order to distribute November's full SNAP benefits during the government shutdown. U.S. District Judge John McConnell Jr. had given the administration until today to make the payments through the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. Rachel Scott's been following the story from Washington.
It was just a couple days ago that the administration says that they were going to partially fund SNAP benefits by tapping into an emergency contingency fund so that there would be some benefits still going out. But on the issue of this ruling by the judge, there was pushback last night from the White House. Vice President Vance says this should not be the courts telling the administration and the president what they should do.
In the meantime, millions of Americans caught in the middle left without food assistance benefits. And a small restaurant in Pickens County is doing something to help out. The owner of the Rolling Snackle Box, Mary Hogan, says that she's created a pay-it-forward wall inside her restaurant on Highway 51 where customers can buy a meal for someone in need and then post it on that wall. Anybody who needs it can take it, no questions asked. Hogan says she knows all too well what it feels like to be in need.
I have struggled through most of my life, either being homeless or not having money for food. And so is most of my employees. So we feel that this is something that we can pay forward.
And she says the community has been more than generous. Her plans are to continue this program from here on out. Going to be beautiful this afternoon, the first part. Then the clouds roll in, so do the showers, and then the afternoon high is around 74. Your weekend looks pretty good, but it is going to get frigid next week. Your 5-day forecast with WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards is coming up at 12:05. So with those freezing temperatures arriving in metro Atlanta early next week, Georgia Power today is offering offering assistance for those who may have a hard time protecting their homes from the cold.
Heating your home when the temperature drops can get expensive. Amanda Sowles with Georgia Power says they're here to help.
Our energy assistance team is actually traveling around the state to help our customers sign up for different programs that we have.
She says those programs for qualifying customers include service discounts along with a so-called EASE program in which contractors visit a home to make improvements to make it more energy efficient, all for free. She says customers can also get rebates on their bills if they choose energy efficient devices like programmable thermostats. Judd Hickenbotham, 95.5 WSB.
Continuing our team coverage now of the federal government shutdown, the order calling for flight reductions nationwide takes effect, having a direct impact on travelers here at Atlanta's big airport.
The 4% reduction in flights is just the beginning. If the government shutdown continues, it'll ramp up to a 10% reduction by next Friday, leaving travelers stressed.
Tons of anxiety.
It's nerve-wracking.
I'm actually more worried about getting back.
Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy tells CBS Mornings this is all to keep flyers safe amid mass callouts of air traffic controllers who've been on the job for weeks without pay.
If I can reduce the capacity because I have reduced controllers, I think that takes pressure out of the system.
Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
And Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy talking to reporters earlier today about the shutdown and its impact on air travel.
There's an easy answer. There's an easy answer. Open up the government. Stop this. And by the way, when I was in Congress, we had shutdowns. I stayed here for a month. I didn't fly home. I sat in my office, working on deals, working on solutions. Why are senators going home?
And so far, no deal on the horizon. Well, perhaps you've noticed an earthy mustiness in your drinking water recently. Well, more and more water customers around the metro area say they are experiencing the effect of a natural annual occurrence on Lake Lanier.
When the seasons change, Lake experience what is called the turnover, and as the water on the surface cools, it becomes more dense, causing it to sink.
Jessica Sterling with the Chattahoochee River Keepers says that the good news is that the water is safe for all uses. She says the treatment process water utilities use normally eliminates the issue, but the effect is unusually stronger this year, so people are noticing that unusual taste and or odor. A potentially serious wheel issue prompting a big recall at Honda. Jeff Gilbert has details.
Honda's recalling 2016 to 21 model year Civics because of an issue that could cause 18-inch aluminum alloy wheels to detach. Honda found the problem in an inspection, but has no warranty claims or reports of crashes. The problem has been traced to an issue with the manufacturing of the wheel.
The Grammy nominations are out today.
Woke up looking for the broccoli.
Kendrick Lamar poised to have another big year at the Grammys. The rapper receiving a total of 9 nominations to lead the field for the 2026 ceremony. This comes after he took home 5 Grammys at the ceremony last year, including for Song and Record of the Year. Just behind Lamar is Lady Gaga with 7 nominations, Bad Bunny, Sabrina Carpenter, and Leon Thomas, each with 6 nods. The 68th Grammy Awards will be handed out in February, on February 1st in Los Angeles. Let's take a look at the markets. The Dow right now is down 384 at 46,527. NASDAQ is also in negative territory. It's down more than 2%, and the S&P's in the red, down more than a full percent. It's time for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Alex Williams with a look at the roads.
Got some better news for those taking I-20 eastbound out toward Lithonia. Sabrina, I'm watching the work crews. They are quickly picking up that construction from the left lane, 20 eastbound at Pinolda Road, exit 71, so that'll help out that ride that's slow back to Wesley Chapel. Elsewhere, the paving continues in Gwinnett County, intersection of Sugarloaf Parkway and Lawrenceville Highway, so look out for those brake lights. And if you're traveling I-75 northbound through Marietta, a little sluggish this lunch hour from Delk Road, but improving once you get up to Highway 5 and 575. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
Your 5-day forecast sponsored by Shoemate, the official plumber of Atlanta.
Clouds rolling in for this afternoon, staying warm with highs in the mid-70s. An isolated rain shower possible for the ride home. The majority of the rain showers will arrive after midnight into early tomorrow morning. Lows starting off in the low 60s, then drying out for tomorrow afternoon, highs in the mid-70s. Another round of rain showers possible on Sunday with a high of 66. Then the Arctic air moving in for early Monday morning. Temperatures dropping to the upper 20s, low 30s. Monday afternoon, mostly cloudy, highs only in the low 40s. Another hard freeze in the forecast for Tuesday morning.
More news at 12:30. Breaking news when it happens. 95.5 WSB.
On the Eric Erickson Show, he's an ex-cop, member of the New England Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame, Talkers Magazine Humanitarian of the Year, and a 30-year talk radio veteran. Filling in for Eric today, Jeff Katz.
That's me. Wow.
Boy, I have done a whole bunch of stuff, huh? That's pretty cool. Always nice to hear that, and always happy to pinch hit for my friend Eric. Just a great Friday, so much to talk about, I want to address a couple of things, including the fact that as people learned I was going to be sitting in for Eric today, they said, Jeff, you're in Virginia, right? I can't tell you how many folks have reached out. You're in Virginia? Yeah. What exactly happened? And I thought, well, I was going to say I'll be happy to share it with you. I don't know I'm going to be happy to share it with you, but I absolutely will give you some of the details and also tell you why there's so many of us, and I guess I have to include myself here, who are thinking this may not be the place for us moving forward. It's really, really a disturbing thought. At least it is for me. Because I have, over the last 15 years or so, truly learned to love Central Virginia. And I still love the vast majority of the people in Central Virginia. But I got to tell you, right about now, I'm very concerned about some of my fellow Virginians and what they really think. So I'll dive into that. But we've got holidays that are coming up. Right? Next big one is Thanksgiving. Now, I happen to love Thanksgiving. I spend every Thanksgiving doing the cooking. I love being in the kitchen. There is something about it that I find rewarding to every single fiber of my being. I am not doing the deep fried turkey. In fact, I don't handle the bird at all. My lovely bride takes care of that. Now, I'm in charge of the brining, and I have developed a brine recipe over the last, well, how long have we been married now? 106 years, I guess. So I guess over the last 106 years, I've developed this great brining recipe. And so I brine it, but then Heidi handles the rest of it. She has this rotisserie she uses. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. It's tasty. This year, for a lot of us, it could very well be much more expensive. We are once again dealing with the aftermaths of some sort of an avian flu. I personally thought, well, here we go again. Didn't we just have a bird flu? And I actually reached out to some friends of mine who are, they're grocers. They own a beautiful store here in Central Virginia called Tom Leonard's Farmers Market. And so I'm friends with Tom. I'm friends with his son, TJ. And TJ's kind of the boss man there now. And Tom has kind of stepped back. And if you're up in the Northeast, you know Stu Leonard's. This is the same family. So I reached out to TJ. I said, hey, man, I'm reading these horror stories now about bird flu. And prices going up, and so is that the case? I mean, just tell me honestly, one way or the other. And he said, Jeff, how long have we known each other? And I thought, uh-oh. What does he think here? Like, I don't know, a long time. He said, okay. He says, has there ever been a time, throughout the time that we've known each other, and we've been friends, and you're friends with my dad, and, you know, loyal customer to the store, all that goes on. Has there ever been any time at all that you haven't heard about some sort of a bird flu? And it made me stop for a second because I said, you know, you're right. He said, every year. He said, it's just like the people flu. Every year there is a bird flu of some sort. And every year they have to, and they use this very polite way of saying, kill the turkeys and the chickens. They say, you know, and every year they have to cull so many. Now, I'm not much of a hunter. In fact, the one time I went turkey hunting, the turkey laughed at me because I couldn't get anywhere close to the actual Tom. And all the hens were just coming up and going right to him, and he had this little walkway. It was terrible. But I thought, well, okay, cull. That's a very nice term for we got to kill a whole bunch of turkeys. And they do. He said, every year, Jeff, we gave me whatever the number was, and I don't honestly recall what the number was. But he told me the number, and he said, so every year they kill so many birds. Oh. He said, so in other words, this year, there's going to be a lot like last year and the year before and the year before that. Yes, there was a bird flu, and yes, there were X number of turkeys that were taken out of the starting rotation. And so The thing is that the prices, this is what I want us to touch on, because the White House is out with this great press release talking about how the cost of Thanksgiving is actually lower this year than it has been in a while. And I'll get into that. But what my friend TJ said was, Jeff, the cost of the frozen birds is going to be higher. He said in a lot of places it's going to be higher by 40 or 50%. Excuse me. So that's a big increase. He said, however, and this is the nice thing, if you're someplace where you can get yourself a fresh bird, he says those prices are exactly the same as they were last year. It's only those large bird distributors, and you know who we're talking about, right? The big guys. Those are the ones that are dealing with that big issue from this bird flu this year. He said your local farmers, they really haven't had to deal with this. And so, number one, their birds are always better to begin with, right? You get something that's a little closer to your table. I do love the phrase farm to table, because I'm in an area of Central Virginia. We're sort of rural. People out here talk about acreage, and I do have to drive by fields, and we've got cows up the road, and so all that kind of cool stuff. I don't know anything about it. I mean, I grew up in the city. I just assumed meat always came in shrink wrap. I didn't realize there was a step before that. But I appreciate how hard these guys and gals work. Farmers. I mean, this is an outrageously difficult profession. So since we've been here, we have always used a local farmer and gotten a local fresh bird, and it's delicious. It's just delicious, and you can taste the difference. You always can taste the difference. So I just want you to be aware of that. If you are looking at the frozen bird, because that's what you normally do, this year, if you do want to keep a couple of bucks in your pocket, you may want to take a look at the fresh birds. Now, all of that being said, even with the price increase, the turkeys still cost less this year than they have in a long time. So it's not exactly record-breaking on all of this, but the average Thanksgiving meal cost is going to be down by about 3%. What does that mean? Well, it depends where you're going to shop. Let me give you a couple of examples here. You've got some areas where Targets have really good supermarkets in them. Not every place has the Targets like that, I've noticed. But if you've got a Target that has the supermarket in there, according to the White House, their Thanksgiving meal right now is at the lowest price ever. That's pretty good. Target, you will be able to get a Thanksgiving meal for turkey, stuffing, cranberry sauce, and sides that's going to cost you less than $5 per person. That's not bad at all. That is absolutely not bad at all. So you could feed a family of four for less than $20. I got news for you. That's pretty good, isn't it? It's pretty good. Let me take a look at a couple of the other places. Aldi's. Now, Aldi's, of course, is known for great prices to begin with, right? Aldi's and Lidl. But this year, their Thanksgiving is $7 less than it was last year. Wow. So that, again, is pretty good. That means it's less than $4 per person. Once again, that's a great price, isn't it? They price it out looking at bigger families. So they're talking about 10 people. And they are looking at getting 10 people fed at Thanksgiving for about $40. $4 a person. And I don't have to go through all the lists, but I'm telling you right now, they don't miss anything. There's nothing here. The difference, I think, between Aldi and Target, as I'm looking at, Target has you buying a lot of canned stuff. Aldi says, hey, buy the carrots and cook them. Buy the onions and cook them. Buy the potatoes and make things, which I think is exactly the way to go. Who else have we got? Lidl. Well, Lidl comes in with the absolute best price that I'm looking at if you want to go to a larger supermarket, right? Lidl says 10 people, $36. $3.60 per person. That is the lowest price, apparently, in years. In fact, it's $10 less than last year. Now, that's real money as far as I'm concerned, and that's a great indication for those of us who live in the real world that maybe the economy is kind of okay. Not great. There are lots of issues, and we can't pretend that there aren't. But this is one of those moments where you and I ought to be able to go and have at least a day of enjoyment and a day of reflection, and obviously, number one, a day of thanks to God that you have a day for reflection and enjoyment and family and football and food and all that good stuff. Walmart's Thanksgiving meal, you ready for this? 25% less than it was last year. In fact, for Walmart, it is the lowest price that they have been able to offer since 2019. Again, some great prices. This ought to be a pleasant situation, a pleasant day. Assuming you can get there, because come Thanksgiving, there are going to be all sorts of delays. What did Sir Topham Hatt always say on Thomas the Tank Engine? Causing delays and disruptions. Well, I got news for you. We're going to have all sorts of delays and disruptions as a result of the Schumer shutdown continuing. Sean Duffy, who's an amazing guy, I just want to state that for the record. Sean Duffy is just aces as far as I'm concerned. Sean Duffy says, hey, we don't have any choices here, kids. We are going to have to restrict all sorts of stuff with our air traffic controllers because we do not have the money. We do not have the people. And there comes a point where the air traffic controllers, God bless them, but I don't know very many people who want to go out and work for free. In addition to that, you've got airlines that have now announced the cancellation of 700 flights. 700 flights. That is gigantic. I want you to understand how big that is. And while that's today, it's also, man, it is also going to be for Thanksgiving. So you might have plans now. You may have to recalibrate them. You might very well be doing Thanksgiving at home unless somehow, some way, the folks in D.C. can get their act together and kind of put things together and get everybody back to work. We'll find out, I guess, as we head through the next couple of days for sure. I want to remind you about the show notes. All right, we've got amazing. Well, all right, fine. I'll rephrase it. I'll be honest. Eric has amazing show notes. And if you are not signed up to get the show notes, you can actually text Eric, E-R-I-C-K, to 33777. All right, just text Eric, E-R-I-C-K, to 33777. You'll get the show notes. And I, of course, sign up. I get them via email every day. Look forward to them. If you're online right now, you don't mind giving me a follow. I'd appreciate it over on X, Jeff Katz Show. Jeff Katz Show over on X. It is Jeff Katz happily sitting in for my friend Eric. It's the Eric Erickson Show.
.1221 Cool Ray Carrier, WSB Traffic Center. Just picked up some new trouble in Tucker. Crash partially in the left lane, 285 northbound, the outer loop, just north of La Vista Road, exit 37. Much better news in DeKalb County. They've wrapped up that left lane roadwork, I-20 eastbound near Panola Road. Still seeing brake lights between Wesley Chapel and Panola. We'll see if anything new is happening there. Traffic brought to you by Total Joint Specialist. Is hip or knee pain slowing you down? Find relief with internationally renowned hip and knee care right here in Georgia. Visit TotalJointSpecialist.com today and get back to doing what you love. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
1 in 7 Georgians and 1 in 5 Georgia children are estimated to be food insecure.
With SNAP benefits going away in the holiday here, times are especially hard, but you can help make a difference today.
It's the annual 95.5 WSB Triple Team Traffic Food Drive.
Go to WSBradio.com and contribute to help the Atlanta Community Food Bank.
Or come out in person on Friday, November 21st to the Publix located at 11800 Haynesbridge Road in Alpharetta.
Help a local family in need. Go to WSBradio.com to find out how you can donate today.
The Love Your Home Minute from TE Certified. Hi, it's Chris Chandler with Josh, the local owner of TE Certified Electrical, Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. You know Josh. That's him you see jumping out of the back of their trucks, Josh. Welcome back. Tell me something unique you had at your home that's not top of mind for maybe the rest of us.
It's my whole home generator. This is one of my favorite things. I forget I have it until the power goes out, and then all of a sudden I have internet, I have TV, I have a refrigerator, I can open my garage door, my pool pump runs, I have heat in the winter, I have cooling during the summer. We've put in tons of these for people that have medical equipment, they have refrigerators, they have freezers, they have aquariums, they have pools, even people with wine chillers. But most importantly, we put them in for people who don't want to be in the dark when the power goes out.
We've had every kind of weather this past few months, and in the newsroom, we know the biggest problem here when this happens is the power outages.
Your power goes out and you lose everything.
Great insights, Josh. I just added a whole home generator to my wish list.
TE Certified, we love your home.
Here's the honest truth. We suffer from tribalism because we like tribalism. The solution, then, is to take advantage of that bent and to work to build the bigger and better tribe, our national identity as one nation under God. Lately, we've treated that tribe as an obsolete notion. Our path to the better future is to recapture our identity and recommit to its foundations. This is Tom Gray, and This Stuff Matters.
ThisStuffMatters.net.
This is Scott Slade, updating my health story. I get a checkup every year, and last September, my primary care physician was troubled by a suspicious number on my lab work. Well, that led to a diagnosis early enough to give me options, and I'm more optimistic than ever about a good outcome. Now, when we're talking about our health, level with your providers if you think you have a problem. We all need expert eyes looking us over every so often. That's where virtual imaging can be invaluable. Virtual Imaging's LDCT body scan can give you time and options for early treatment, especially for cancer. They can detect tumors as early as precancerous virtually anywhere in your body, and aneurysms you may not even know are there. For a limited time, Virtual Imaging is extending their core body scan offer for only $995 per scan. That's a $2,495 value. Early detection saves lives, and now it's more affordable than ever. Virtual Imaging has gotten such great response, they've opened up more times in both offices. But appointments will fill up fast for this offer, so don't wait. Some minimum requirements may apply. Early detection is your best protection. To schedule your virtual imaging $995 core body scan, call 770-678-SCAN. That's 770-678-SCAN. Or make an appointment by visiting their website at virtualimagingatl.com. That's virtualimagingatl.com. Do it now, while you still have options.
Don't miss Megyn Kelly live on stage with special guests Adam Carolla, Rich Lowry, and Charlie Cook on Saturday, November 8th at Gas South Arena. Get tickets now at MegynKelly.com. Presented by Y-Refi and SiriusXM.
I'm Channel 2's Lori Wilson.
I'm Fred Blankenship. Channel 2 Action News this morning is the best place to be for breaking news.
So much is happening, and we're on it. Our reporters are the first to know in your community, bringing you fresh information, the best video.
We know you depend on us. It's why we're everywhere live to prepare you for the day ahead.
In the morning, see what's new.
Don't miss a day. Join us. Channel 2 Action News this morning, 4:30 to 7.
Veterans Day is November 11th, and Findlay Roofing honors our local vets. Who's the bestest boy, Rufus? Dave Baker here. Right now, veterans get a special $1,500 discount on roof replacement, and 0% financing is available. FindlayRoofing.com.
I'm in almost every school bus and classroom. I go to school with your children. We say the Pledge of Allegiance together. You see me around the neighborhood and you tell me that I'm a pretty good kid. Well, I'm one out of every 5 children in America, and I'm struggling with hunger. This problem is closer than you think. My teacher tells me we can grow up to be whatever we want. I want to grow up to be someone who doesn't go to bed hungry. There's enough food in this country to feed everybody. Please visit feedingamerica.org today and find your local food bank for ways to help. Every dollar you donate helps provide 8 meals for kids like me, quietly struggling with hunger. Together, we are Feeding America, brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Get Eric's daily show prep email. Text DATA to 33777 and you'll be in the know.
Jeff Katz, happy to be sitting in for Eric. It is Friday, and please make sure that you do get signed up for the show notes and all of Eric's prep. It is it's valuable. It is very, very valuable. I tell you that as a loyal subscriber and as a loyal fan. I mean, I love what Eric does. I did love this announcement from the White House as well that the cost for Thanksgiving is down, particularly because there's still a lot of people who are talking about costs. And that was part of this election on Tuesday. And there's no way around that. We've got to be honest about this. People do feel, and I say people as if you and I are not people, but we're people. I swear to you, we're real honest to goodness people. We're real live folks. There's still people who are sensing that things are too expensive. And it depends who you are and where you are as you're trying to figure out what is or is not too expensive. Last week, I mentioned to somebody, I got to go out and buy new clothes. And, I can't believe you're going out to buy new clothes. I said, I'm not trying to make you feel good, bad, or indifferent about me having to buy some new clothes. It's the fact that I have been shocked at the cost of clothing. All fairness, it's been a while since I've gone out to buy clothes. It's a few years. Now, in the last year, I really, really dedicated myself to losing some weight. I just decided I am at a point, and I've done this over the years, many of us have, but I said, look, I got to really kick my my rear end in gear, and let's do some. So over this last year, I've dropped about 70 pounds. And so I really, really need new clothing. Make no mistake about it. So I actually went to do some shopping, and I just had been blown away. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about that because that is what all of us are feeling. But I'm happy to say that to drive to the store to look at the clothing, gasoline was far less than it was the last time that I had to go. It is Jeff Katz, happy to be sitting in for Eric. This is the Eric Erickson Show.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It is 12:30. Good afternoon. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news sponsored by Jim Ellis Automotive. The government shutdown impacting travelers today as the 3% reduction in the number of flights ordered from the FAA is in effect.
I was invited back to Alabama for Thanksgiving, but I decided, I'm not going to take my chances.
Unfortunately, I'm going to have to tell my job that I'm going to be late. I'm praying that they get this together because this is horrible.
For those who rely on SNAP benefits for food assistance, they're being impacted too. The Trump administration asking a federal appeals court today to block a judge's order to distribute November's full SNAP benefits during the shutdown. U.S. District Judge John McConnell had given the administration until today to make the payments through the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. However, the administration is seeking to suspend any court orders requiring it to spend more money than is available in a contingency fund. Your weather for today. Clouds rolling in this afternoon. A stray rain shower is possible and a high of 74, says WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. Despite consumer caution, holiday spending is on track to pass $1 trillion this year and set a record.
The prediction comes from the National Retail Federation, which says consumers plan to spend almost $900 per person on average. The NRF says retail sales are expected to rise as much as 4.2% from last year. The group does point to ongoing challenges, including the government shutdown, trade uncertainty, and persistent inflation. Retailers are expected to absorb some tariff costs to avoid major price hikes on essential items. I'm Bloomberg's Gina Cervetti for 95.5 WSB.
And the Farmer's Almanac is ending its 208-year run with its 2026 edition. The Almanac is known for long-term weather predictions, gardening guides, fishing, and moon phases. The publisher saying the decision to call it quits was made due to the increasing financial challenges of producing and distributing the almanac in today's media environment. The Farmer's Almanac was first published back in 1818. Let's take a look at the markets. The Dow right now is down 301 at 46,611. So the Dow is down more than 0.5%. NASDAQ's down more than 1.5%. And the S&P's down almost a full percent. It's 12:32.
The holidays are approaching, so let my friends at Publix help you save money by shopping on the buy one, get one deals each week. Hey, it's Mark Aram. Yeah, there are BOGOs galore at your neighborhood Publix supermarkets. I love going in there and just following the yellow brick road of BOGOs. Save when you shop with the latest buy one, get one free items, deals on your favorites, and make sure you check out the BOGO deals before you shop. You can find the weekly ad online at Publix.com or in the Publix app. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
This is Andy Harris, president at Coosa Valley Credit Union, where we believe in the power of human connection. When you call us, you're not greeted by a machine, but by a real person who's here to listen and assist you. Coosa Valley Credit Union. We're local, we're kind, and we're here for you.
Sell your home with Mark Spain Real Estate and get the strongest cash offer in the industry. You'll save time, make the most money, and eliminate all the hassle. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today. That's markspain.com and start packing.
Hi, it's Sue from Bread Beckers with Sue's Healthy Minute. Over the past 30 years, we've seen countless lives change for the better and health issues greatly improved, if not completely resolved, by customers changing their diets, starting with real bread. At the Bread Beckers store in Woodstock, we can teach you how to make real, delicious bread loaded with fiber and nutrients from real whole grains. A healthy, affordable solution for your family that can change your lives. For various customers, we've seen cholesterol levels drop 85 to 100 points in just 1 month, blood sugar stabilized, anemia corrected, and hundreds of stories of warts going away. In one case, as many as 500 warts gone in just 2.5 weeks. I have a degree in food science, and for more than 30 years, I've studied the incredible health benefits of whole grains and real bread. Let us help you take the first steps to better health. Visit breadbeckers.com or our Bread Beckers store in Woodstock.
Fall is here, and with it comes cool air and heavy rains. All that moisture doesn't just smell bad, it affects the air your family breathes and even your home's foundation. Hi, I'm Jeremy, owner of American Crawl Space Solutions, and we believe in a needs-based approach, recommending only what your crawl space truly needs. No high-pressure sales tactics and no price increase just because you don't commit today. American Crawl Space Solutions, your best value in crawl space repair.
American Crawl Space Solutions, foundations too.
Live team coverage of traffic and weather. Here's Alex Williams.
Hey, Sabrina, been watching this crash in Tucker, 285 northbound, the outer loop just north of La Vista Road, exit 37. DeKalb Fire Rescue just helped escort it to the right shoulder, so all lanes have reopened there. On 285 southbound, the outer loop over on the west side, seeing some brake lights south of South Cobb Drive, getting down to I-20. And the volume through Midtown downtown, 7585 south, passing North Avenue. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Becoming mostly cloudy for this afternoon with an isolated rain shower possible, high 74. Rain showers late tonight into early tomorrow morning, lows in the low 60s.
We'll have more news at 1 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
Material that you and I are going to have to process. And the anti-Semitism relative to the Heritage Foundation is something we absolutely have to address. There's no way around it. I know last week I just kind of floated a little bit out there and said, well, do we not have an issue? What is really or really not going on with Tucker Carlson? Can we somehow, some way address this? Do we need to? Is there anything? And it has gotten bigger, has it not? Instead of any sort of resolution coming about, it seems to me as if this has gotten worse in the 1 week since you and I last had the opportunity to chat. The head of the Heritage Foundation came out with that video saying, hey, we don't want to cancel anybody. Everything's okay. Not to worry. It's all okay. It's all okay. But we're not gonna get rid of anybody. And we're not sending Tucker Carlson back to home base, or it's just all good. It's all good. Come on, let's move along here. And there's part of me that says, well, I'd love to move along here. But I just got back from Israel not too long ago. And I grew up dealing with anti-Semitism my entire life. My entire life, I have seen Jew hatred up close and personal. It is something that I am very aware of and really concerned about. When you grow up in a house next to people who survived the Holocaust, you fully understand the power of anti-Semitism. When you grow up in a family which lost family members during the Holocaust, you fully understand anti-Semitism. When you grow up in a family, some of whose members were killed during pogroms in Russia, then you, again, really understand anti-Semitism. So this is something I'm just going to tell you flat out, I have been dialed into my entire life. I have dealt with my entire life. And I have experienced all of the shading. Well, Jeff, it's they don't hate the Jews. They hate the Zionists. Now that's the latest thing, right? We don't hate Jews. We just hate Zionists. Oh, and what is Zionism? Well, it's well, I'll tell you what it is. Since you're puzzled by it, it's simply the belief that the Jewish people should once again be able to live in the Jewish homeland that was given to us by God, and that has been our home, even though many of us have been in the diaspora for thousands of years. That's Zionism. So if you want to tell me that somehow, some way, Zionism is not connected in some way to the Jewish people, then you would be wrong. Well, Jeff, what about the Christian Zionists? I mean, remember, that's what Tucker Carlson said he hates the most. He hates Christian Zionists. If you are a committed Christian, you have accepted as your savior a man who in earthly form was a Jew. You're part of this. And speaking as a Zionist, a Jewish Zionist, I am grateful, and I will be eternally grateful to the amazing Christian men and women who have stood up and said, we stand with you. We got your back. That means the world to me. In Israel, I had some of the most amazing experiences interacting with people whose faith tradition, isn't that what we say now? The faith tradition was different. I mean, even various denominations in the Christian world. We met with some Druze leadership in the north of Israel. We met with every variety of Jew in Israel, from non-observant, purely secular, to Reform and Orthodox and conservative, and any branch you could have thought of, they were represented. Muslim. Baha'i. I think we had some interaction with some of the Baha'i community. I mean, it was an amazing experience in Israel. And this is a situation that, if you have the chance, you need to go. I'm hoping to go back and do some of the fun stuff, like floating in the Dead Sea. Everybody talks about that. Well, I didn't get a chance to do that because my visit over there was more of a delegate. Well, we were a delegation from Newsmax, and we were going to see what was going on, really. But if you have the opportunity, you do need to do it. So why is this important? Because Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens have now embraced this Jew hatred, and I, for one, am I would say puzzled, but it's just the oldest sort of hatred that this world has seen. So maybe I shouldn't be surprised. Maybe I should be disgusted, as I am. But maybe I shouldn't be surprised. Candace Owens is just disgusting in much of what she says now. Just vile filth. And I have to wonder what the heck happened to her. Ted Cruz is now saying to his fellow Republicans, you guys have to speak out against Tucker Carlson. Here's what he says, quote, "It's easy right now to denounce Nick Fuentes. That's kind of safe. Are you willing to say Tucker's name?" Well, are you? He was speaking at the Washington National Lawyers Convention of the Federalist Society. Quote, "Now I can tell you, my colleagues, almost to a person think what is happening is horrifying, but a great many of them are frightened because he has one hell of a big megaphone." Ted Cruz, you'll recall, was on that Tucker cast a while ago, as Tucker seemed to be shilling for Iran, right? You remember this? I mean, it was nuts. And wanted to just dismiss everything that Senator Ted Cruz had to say because Ted Cruz couldn't tell him the exact population of Iran. That's bizarre, don't you think? But that seems to be Tucker Carlson now. And I don't quite understand why that is. Do you? If you don't, then do me a favor. Think about it. And if you do, think about it even more and try and figure out what it is that we need to do or say to have some sort of addressing of the issue. Who is going to stand up and say what needs to be said? Well, Ted Cruz apparently is one. I know Eric has certainly been one who has addressed this issue. But there need to be more of us. Chris Ruddy, the boss at Newsmax, did an amazing presentation at the Republican Jewish Coalition out in Las Vegas a week or two ago. Did a great job. Amazing job. Chris Ruddy is a passionate, loyal supporter of Israel and the Jewish people, a great friend. Here's what else Ted Cruz says. "My complaint about Tucker having Nick Fuentes on was not that he platformed him. That's a choice you can make or not. But the last I checked, Tucker actually knows how to cross-examine someone. If you want to cross-examine and challenge him, that's fine, but he didn't. He fawningly gazed at him." Cruz said as well, they each have a right to say what they're saying, but every one of us has an obligation to stand up and say that it's wrong. That's the issue, isn't it? Because this always gets handled in the wrong way, and people are misled when they say, well, you know, Jeff, I'm against this idea of reining in free speech. It's all about the First Amendment. Well, it's not. First Amendment says the government, the federal government in some way is going to come in and restrict your speech. That's what the First Amendment is all about. I'm not a constitutional scholar. Heck, I'm not even a practitioner of the dark arts. But even I get that. That's how clear that is, that First Amendment. That even I understand it. That's not what this is. This is about somebody choosing to have someone as a guest on the show. Now, as someone who has done talk radio and worked in this goofy talk radio business now for almost 35 years, I can tell you, many of us look at guests that are pitched to us and say, no, not for me. Or, wow, that's somebody who seems like they have a very interesting point of view. And then you start thinking, is that going to attract people to my program? Are more people going to listen if I have somebody like XYZ as opposed to ABC? Well, that'd be a pretty good get, we like to say. Is it somebody with whom I agree? That can get kind of boring. I mean, if somebody just comes on and as a guest says, Jeff, I agree with everything you've ever said, and you're the best, and you're brilliant, and man, I love that, but nobody else wants to hear that. Have somebody who disagrees with you, have somebody offering an opinion that, quite frankly, is really unattractive or distasteful, that can become very interesting. That can attract eyes and ears. And that's the business part of what we do, right? You have to attract eyes and ears. So is Tucker Carlson looking at that and saying, I get this Nick Fuentes character on. There'll be a lot of people watching and listening because he's a really interesting guy. And he is a really interesting guy. He's a disgusting person, but he's really interesting. So is that your entire motivation? And if it is, okay. But as Ted Cruz says, don't you really have an obligation then to ask a question or two? To ask why you've decided that Hitler is a good guy? Remember, Tucker had some sort of a self-proclaimed historian on who was talking about how it was actually Churchill who was the bad guy in World War II, and Hitler was, I guess, just misunderstood, right? We just didn't understand what... Okay, well, disgusting. Interesting? Yeah. Worthy of watching and listening to? Well, that is purely a personal decision. And there are lots of really disgusting videos that are available. And some of them are really interesting. And some of them you think, well, I need to watch that. I'll give you an example. September the 11th, 2001. The original videos that were done in a contemporaneous way during the terrorist attacks in New York City showed human beings jumping out of the towers. It was the only choice they had left to make, was how they were going to die. They knew they were going to die. And the one choice they had here on Earth was, do I wait to die from smoke asphyxiation or be burned alive, or do I jump out of the 105th floor? I try and watch those videos, not because I take any great pleasure in them, in fact, just the opposite, but just as a reminder. That's where we were then. Here we are, the guy who's going to preside over the 25th anniversary of those terrorist attacks, Mr. Mamdani, up there in New York City, is somebody who took Hamas's side, seems to think that globalizing the Intifada is a really good idea, and in fact spent some quality time with one of the imams in New York City who was full steam ahead with those terror attacks. It's twisted. Would I watch somebody simply jump out of a building because it was available? No. Do I force myself to watch the videos of people from September the 11th, 2001 being forced to make that horrible choice? I do. Because I don't ever want to forget. Remember, you can always hit me up on social media. A couple of ways to do it. Over on X, if you would follow Jeff Katz Show, Jeff Katz Show on X. I would love to have you over there. Facebook also available to you, The Jeff Katz Show, The Jeff Katz Show. And while you are noodling around with your phone, let me suggest that you sign up for, get yourself a copy of Eric's show notes. All right, they come out every day right around noon. You'll know exactly what it is he's going to talk about today. You'll know what I'm talking about. You'll have all the links to the stories, all the background, and it's super easy to get it. Just text Eric, ERICK, to this number 33777, and you'll get the show notes. I would urge you to do that. Again, text Eric, ERICK, to 33777. Jeff Katz sitting in for Eric. This is the Eric Erickson Show.
I'm actually in Las Vegas today, and I have my Eden Pure Thunderstorm with me because it's small. I can keep it in my travel bag. I hold it in my hand. I can plug it up with a USB cord, plug it into the wall. And I've used it here before if someone smoked, although I'm actually in a really nice hotel now, don't have an adjoining room, but, you know, someone's in a smoking next door, you wipe out the odors. A rental car, it wipes out every odor. It kills bacteria, viruses, it traps dust and pollen. You can get 3 of them for less than $200. They're easy to travel with. Put one upstairs, downstairs, your basement, your travel bag, wherever you need it. You go to EdenPureDeals.com. Eden, like the Garden of Eden, pure as the driven snow. EdenPureDeals.com. Use the discount code ERIC3. ERICK3 at EdenPureDeals.com. Get 3 Eden Pure Thunderstorms. You can put them wherever you need them. Keep one in your travel bag. They're small, lightweight, highly portable, very useful at eliminating odors. EdenPureDeals.com. The discount code ERIC3. ERICK3.
You can follow Eric around on social media at EW Erickson on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. And check him out at EWErickson.com.
1252 Coolray Carrier Traffic Center. Brand new trouble between Dunwoody and Dorville. Crash 285 eastbound, the inner loop, Peachtree Boulevard, exit 31. It's in 2 left lanes. Tow truck just arrived, so hopefully they'll get it cleaned up soon. You're slowing back to Chamblee Dunwoody Road. Traffic is brought to you by the Georgia Lottery. Tonight's Mega Millions jackpot is $843 million. Now with bigger jackpots, better odds, and a built-in multiplier. Drawings every Tuesday and Friday. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
He's the guy at the desk next to you.
It's not as bad as it could be.
He's your co-pilot for the ride home.
Hey, the ladies are at home. Let's smoke cigars.
Eric Von Hessler.
Some sort of cultural affirmation. Yes, I am this kind of man.
Today at 3.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Been wanting a new deck for your home? Something that's built just the way you want it? But you're scared to pull the trigger? I can help you with that. Dave Baker here for Ben Hill Renovations. Right now, Ben Hill Renovations are offering special financing. No interest if you pay in full within the 18 months promo period. You're welcome. Visit bhrenovations.com today and schedule a free design consultation at your home. Ben Hill Renovations, creating raving fans since 1964.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed right here on 95.5 WSB. Well, Chris, as you know, time just keeps on ticking. We're putting another year under our belt, so it seems like a really good time to take stock of our financial lives and put together that plan that's built to last.
There are occasions throughout the year where I feel like it's critical for people to engage their financial lives and get the information that they deserve from a financial advisory team. And this is one of those times, to be quite frank. So we ask that you call us if you have a minimum of $500,000 in your full portfolio. But we're going to do away with that minimum so that those folks can have an equal opportunity to understand what's in their portfolio as well. Now, you have to have some money, right? I can't help you to build your wealth at work, right? But I sure can help, I believe, with your 401k, IRA management. There's probably 2 or 3 things that'll surprise you that you may want to take action on. So the next 10 people that call in will work up either a portfolio x-ray, or if you feel like you need a full retirement plan, go to unleashyourmoney.com, click on portfolio x-ray, or click on full retirement plan. We think you'll be impressed enough, and we want you to become a client. There's no question about it. We believe that we are a very competent fiduciary advisory team, and we want to offer that to our listeners. Let Hoffman Financial Group actually show you how we perform, and I believe we perform at the pinnacle of this industry.
Call the Hoffman Financial Group at 404-737-3858, 404-737-3858, or online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
Hi, I'm Emily, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company, where a small box with a burgundy bow will help you win the holidays. As an in-house designer, I love creating meaningful, fine jewelry gifts. Choose a necklace with a gorgeous infinity charm to symbolize your everlasting love. Or go for a personalized piece with an engraving, their zodiac sign, favorite color gemstone, or their initial accented with pave diamonds. Because a friend wants you to be a holiday hero. Stop by or shop now at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
All the news, weather, and traffic you need. 95.5 WSB.
WSB Atlanta, WSB BFM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
On the go, take Eric's podcasts with you. Available wherever you stream your favorite podcast. Search Eric Erickson.
It is the Eric Erickson Show. Jeff Katz happy to be pinch hitting for Eric today. The airports will see a crisis if you're not already seeing it. We're already seeing it. And it is going to ramp. Well, I was going to say it's going to ramp up. I guess in theory it's actually going to ramp down, right? We will see fewer and fewer flights that are possible. You've got 700 flights that have already been canceled. Where are the flights headed? I have to think if they're involving Democrat locations, those people who are inconvenienced may reach out to their Democrat senators, say, look, guys, gals, let's just get this done already. This is getting to be a real pain. How much of the Schumer shutdown is related to continuing to protect Schmuck Schumer, and how much of it now is, well, we just don't care at all. And we're going to show you that this is all about us going after Donald Trump, and it's never been anything else. And you're going to pay the price. And I am going to share with you a little bit about the election results here in my beloved Commonwealth of Virginia, where I apparently now am no longer welcome. And in fact, with an attorney general coming into office in just about 10 weeks, I don't know how safe I'm going to be. It is Jeff Katz sitting in for Eric. This is the Eric Erickson Show.
I'm Chris Chandler, and Monday at 5 on Atlanta's Morning News, how long will freezing temperatures be with us in our 5-day forecast, and where Clark Howard finds deals on batteries as holiday shopping season commences on WSB.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
So right now may be the perfect time for you to rethink how you pay for health care, and here's why. This time of year is decision time for a lot of people, but it's also when you can join Medi-Share and save even more than usual. For many families, joining Medi-Share means saving about $500 a month, which is a game changer for a lot of people. But what's more, Medi-Share members like it. We know this from member surveys. They like it a lot. It's a proven thing now. Medi-Share has been around for over 30 years. It's a Christian community of hundreds of thousands of people now. And here's the thing, too. If you join before November 15th and you mention the promo code SHARE, they will waive your application fee. So you save $100 right off the bat. I'll give you the number here in a second, but just call and you'll get a price within 2 minutes. Again, the deadline is November 15th, so call now. You'll save even more. Here's the number. Call 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
News, weather,
Traffic. 95.5 WSB. Atlanta's news and talk.
It is 1 o'clock. Good afternoon. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This is just in. Here at 1 o'clock, a violent felon is convicted for his role in operating a multi-million-dollar drug trafficking and money laundering operation from inside a Georgia state prison. At the time, 46-year-old Jarvis Matthews was serving a life sentence without parole for murder. The U.S. Attorney in Atlanta says Matthews used contraband cell phones to run the operation from his cell at a Calhoun State prison. He used his fiancée, girlfriends, nephew, and his own 2 adult sons to distribute the drugs in and around the Atlanta area. Matthews facing a mandatory minimum 25 years in federal prison to run consecutively to the state prison sentence he is already serving. Your weather for today. Clouds rolling in this afternoon. A few showers are possible on your drive home and a high of 74, says WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. She says freezing temperatures are in the forecast for the metro area early next week, and Georgia Power is now lending a hand to those in need.
For many Georgians, it's the normal advice to protect your home from the cold, checking insulation, sealing any leaks, and changing your air filter. But Amanda Sowles with Georgia Power says there's extra help for others, including a home energy improvement program.
You can receive over $1,000 in rebates to kind of replace and upgrade some energy efficient things in your home.
And those who qualify can also get service discounts and even a contractor to come out for free to make improvements for better energy efficiency as the first blast of winter hits North Georgia. Judd Hickenbotham, 95.5 WSB.
All right, have you noticed a musty or kind of earthy taste or smell to your tap water? You're not alone.
More and more customers in Metro Atlanta are reporting the issue, which is a result of a natural annual turnover process in the water that comes from Lake Lanier, which is the source of the drinking water for most people in the metro region.
The good news is the water is still treated and it's completely safe to drink, cook with, and bathe in. There's nothing harmful. It is just kind of the unpleasant taste and odor.
Jessica Sterling with the Chattahoochee Riverkeeper says the treatment process usually overrides this effect, and they aren't sure why that's not the case this year. But utility officials believe it will clear up by mid-December. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
All right, air travelers across the nation and right here in Atlanta are voicing frustration as the federal government's order to reduce flights by 4% takes effect today because of this government shutdown.
It's the first day of the new order from the FAA, which will increase by 1% daily until it hits 10% next Friday. Those ramping cuts have many travelers flying out today concerned about whether they'll be able to make it back home.
It's just difficult to understand how they just can't figure this out. You know, it's going to impact everybody.
I'm praying that they get this together because this is horrible.
The FAA says the goal is to keep air travel safe, with many air traffic controllers calling out or leaving their jobs after weeks without pay. Hartsfield Jackson says it's working to continue giving travelers an optimal experience. Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
As we check the markets, the Dow's down almost 0.5%, NASDAQ's down 1.5%, and the S&P's down almost a full percent. It's 102.
Are you starting to consider a new roof, but not sure if it's needed or what it might cost?
Tim Andrews, if you're going to impersonate Scott Slade, you might want to add a little bottom.
A little bottom to it.
A little bass, yes.
Where I'm working on that.
Well, you don't have to impersonate me. We're both here for FGA Roofing.
I know them.
FGA Roofing offers their free drone assessment. And you'll know if it just needs a fix, a rejuvenation, or a new roof. They'll quote you a price, and if you mention Scott Slade, they'll take $750 off the quote.
What about me?
Mention Tim Andrews, they'll take $750 off the quote.
That's $1,500.
If you mention both of us. And here's the best part. That quote is good for 1 year.
With your good credit, you can take advantage of their 000 offer. That's 0 down payment, 0 payments for 18 months, and 0 interest.
They offer all types of roofs, from architectural or any of the high-end roofs like Slate.
Take the first step now and set up an appointment at FGAroofing.com. That's FGAroofing.com.
Or just Google FGA Roofing.
Did you know that eating healthier and more delicious food is not only good for you, but affordable as well? Hi, it's Sue from Bread Beckers with Sue's Healthy Minute. At the Bread Becker store in Woodstock, we can teach you how to make real, delicious bread loaded with fiber and nutrients from real whole grains. A healthy, delicious, and affordable solution for your family. Eating real bread will satisfy your hunger and greatly reduce the amount of food you need to eat. Plus, your improved health from eating real bread may even reduce the need for frequent doctor visits. That's what Real Bread did for our family. 2 doctor visits with 9 kids in 25 years. I have a degree in food science, and for more than 30 years, I've studied the incredible health benefits of whole grains and real bread. So if you're struggling with bowel issues, high cholesterol, weight gain, warts, or kids who seem to be constantly sick, take the first steps to a healthier, more affordable life. Visit breadbeckers.com or our Bread Beckers store in Woodstock.
Sell your home with Mark Spain Real Estate and get the strongest cash offer in the industry. You'll save time, make the most money, and eliminate all the hassle. Hi, it's Chris Chandler. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today and start packing.
Got a leaky pipe? Trouble with your heat or AC? Ace Hardware Home Services is around the corner with trusted pros to fix it. From plumbing to heating and cooling, we'll keep your home running smoothly all year long. Get help today at acehardwarehomeservices.com.
Live team coverage of traffic and weather, Alex Williams.
Got 2 travel advisories right now. Sabrina, one in between Dunwoody and Dorville. Crash 285 eastbound, the inner loop at Peachtree Boulevard, exit 31. 2 left lanes blocked there. Take 400 south to 85 north to avoid it. And now a crash in Union City in 2 right lanes. 85 northbound at Flat Shoals Road, exit 66. Highway 29 will be the alternate to scoot you around that. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. Mostly cloudy through the afternoon with an isolated rain shower possible for the ride home. Today's high is 74. Rain showers overnight into early tomorrow morning. Lows in the low 60s. Drying out tomorrow afternoon. Becoming mostly cloudy. High 75.
We have 70 degrees in Lithia Springs, 67 in Sugar Hill. More news at 1:30. Breaking news when it happens. 95.5 WSB.
Today on The Eric Erickson Show, he's an ex-cop, member of the New England Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame, Talkers Magazine Humanitarian of the Year, and a 30-year talk radio veteran. Filling in for Eric today, Jeff Katz.
Jeff Katz, happy to be filling in for Eric today. I want to point out a percentage here. I'm not a numbers guy. I think I've shared that with you before. I don't know how many times. No, of course I don't know how many times because it involves numbers, but I know I have. And here's what I do know. Team Biden, you remember them? Joe Biden played the part of the president. Sort of, kind of. You could barely see the strings moving. I mean, you could barely see his chest going up and down for respirations either, but I digress. But during that time, when we had the big open border, you remember, it was wacky. I was going to say it was in all the papers, but it really wasn't. But we had this terrible problem, and people were just showing up, uninvited, sticking around now. Children. How many children were brought into the nation? And for what purposes? Right? Jeff, they were just looking for a better life. Were they? Well, some of them maybe. Many of them were simply being trafficked. That's what that was happening to them. And the Biden administration, comprised of such evil people who truly don't care about anybody except themselves and their own amassing of political power, they didn't care about those kids. And so they had all sorts of unaccompanied alien children coming into the United States. They were welcomed. And then they were ignored. The Biden administration lost contact with about 113,000 unaccompanied alien children. Within 30 days of them being admitted into the United States. See, what would happen is they'd show up, and then there would be some person show up and say, oh, yeah, that's my niece or my nephew or my son or my daughter or my cousin. And because Xavier Becerra, Mayorkas, Biden, Harris, I mean, all of these awful people said, we just want everybody coming in. We don't give a damn what happens to them after they come in. They turned, if you remember, they turned the United States Border Patrol and Customs and Border Protection fundamentally into babysitters, Uber drivers, and Lyft providers. And so they said, well, just let everybody in. Okay. Do I need to wear my uniform? Do I need to even show up at a port of entry? Do I need to pretend that I'm enforcing the law? What if I just take a long vacation? How many members of the Border Patrol said, yeah, I'm out? How many members of Customs and Border Protection, which you may or may not know is the largest law enforcement agency in America? Yeah, largest law. And they are one hell of an outfit. Great outfit. I'm on a bunch of Reddit forums. Why? I don't know. But I am. And I was a cop 1,000 years ago, and I saw all these ads come out in the last year Thanks to President Trump saying, if you want to get back into law enforcement, here's an incentive, 10, 20, 30, up to $70,000 in some cases. Now, I am so far past the age, it's laughable. But I'm still as part of all these Reddit forums, and I'm just watching these guys, younger guys, who are going through the process, going, oh, yeah, I got my conditional job. I got my final job offer. I'm reporting to FLETC on such and such a day. Hey, I made it through everything, and now I get to choose my my port of entry where I'm going to work and all this stuff. But the procedure, I'm going to tell you right now, the procedure for Customs and Border Protection is incredible. And so you are seeing some of the finest folks go to United States Customs and Border Protection. I digress. Under Biden, every one of those great law enforcement professionals, they were simply told, yeah, no, we don't really want you enforcing the law. Just don't do it. And so we have 113,000 children somewhere in the United States of America. They came to the United States illegally. They were picked up some way, somehow by somebody who was a, quote, sponsor, but we don't know anything else. There's no paperwork. There's nothing in the system. We've just lost 113,000 kids. Now, my question is, who are these kids? Well, some of them were young men, say 17, 18 years of age. Many of them were involved in criminal activity before they came across the border, and they were brought across the border to continue engaging in criminal activity. Many of them, gangbangers, major members of various and sundry gangs. And so they are in business here in the United States now, and that's thanks to Biden and his team. But you also had a number of young ladies, and I do mean young, 11, 12-year-old girls. Many of them were brought across the border in a modern-day slave trade, a giant prostitution ring, human trafficking. And because of Joe Biden and the awful people who were part of his administration, many of them are now working as prostitutes. Well, I know you can't be a prostitute if you're... No, let me rephrase that. They're being abused every single day. They're being raped every single day. They're being raped multiple times a day. And that is a result of Joe Biden and his team of despicable bottom feeders. There. How's that? Were there some who came across willingly? I suppose. But you want to tell me that those little girls who were brought across actually were here because they wanted to be here? They didn't know who was picking them up. They didn't realize that the person who was picking them up was actually going to be their pimp. They had been abused the whole way up here. And their abuse continues, again, thanks to Joe Biden and the people who were part of his team. It's just a disgusting situation. Secretary Bobby Kennedy, Health and Human Services Secretary Bobby Kennedy, said that the Biden administration was, in fact, the largest facilitator of child abuse in American history. Quote, my predecessor was deliberately employing a policy of speed over safety. So they waived all of the identification requirements for sponsors. Sponsors were not required to show valid identification. They were never fingerprinted. We don't know if there's a criminal record. There was no DNA testing. So the claims that they were taking a family member were dubious. Wow. How's that for a legacy? And what is it that we can do now becomes my question. I don't know. I just don't know. I mention all of that because that was all ignored completely and totally by the legacy media types. And there were some of us who were calling it out. And believe it or not, it wasn't a partisan issue. If you care about children, then it's an issue. And it ought to be an issue. And you ought to be doing something about it. But we were told, oh, no, you just hate Joe Biden. Well, my dislike of Joe Biden was not actually a factor. And I was not going to lie to you and say I liked the guy. But that's not what that was about. It was about protecting kids. But now we have same folks, the same members of the legacy news media who were ignoring this, but are now telling us that immigration and customs enforcement folks are terrible people. I'll give you an example. Nicole Wallace. Now, she is still on what they're still calling MSNBC, right? Has that changed yet? Comcast very happily getting rid of that product. And so MSNBC is going to have some sort of a new name, but not to worry. It'll be the same bilge and drivel that it always has been, but with a new name, new packaging. So how bad could that be, right? It'll be fantastic, I'm sure. But Nicole Wallace is over there, and Nicole Wallace is one of those self-serving types who, when it became convenient, decided, yeah, I know I used to tell you that I was a Republican and a conservative, and I'm throwing it all in because MSNBC is paying me, and so there you have it. So take a listen to some of these things, which, well, they're flat-out lies, but I guess it doesn't matter. Cut number 4, please.
We all have, frankly, stood in abject horror watching the twisting of the New Testament around some of Trump's policies. I don't know if you can twist it so far that you're, using chemicals in grade schools and raiding churches and raiding hospitals and catching people when they come to court to do what they're supposed to do to stay in this country legally. I don't think that the evangelical community should stand for that. And I think the faith community over the next couple of years, you see the Pope doing it, but you need to see a lot more than the Pope. You need to see the American bishops. You need to see the leaders of all the major denominations. You need to see the Jewish and the Muslim communities. They all need to come together and say, you know what, this is not how we treat our fellow man. This is not what we do. And I think it could be powerful. If somebody uses it the right way, I think it could be a very powerful pushback on what is a very shameful episode in our country.
Well, you've also got the people who think they care about law and order. The people getting rounded up in court are the law and order asylum seekers and immigrants. I mean, they are the people who have such reverence for our laws and our order that they have gone to court. And that is where they've been rounded up and disappeared from.
But this is, so it's so important that you were talking about dehumanization. And I just have to take a step back and say it has happened in our country before. Actually, many times. More recently, comes to mind what happened to Japanese Americans in World War II. So we have a history, actually, of demonizing immigrants. Sometimes even Democrats do it, right? We're casual about it when you say illegal versus undocumented, and then we have folks say, don't tone police, folks, that's a turnoff, but actually words mean something. And when we casually allow for demonization of communities over long periods of time, innocent people get caught in the net, and it allows for, frankly, this monster in the White House to go after our communities.
Wow. I don't even know where to start with that one. I mean, you heard it as I did. It is chock full of lies. I don't know that anything that either one of those three women said at any point was actually true. I did think it was interesting, funny in a really twisted, sad sort of a way for this Nicole Wallace to us. I mean, these illegal immigrants, these aliens, they have such reverence for our criminal justice system and for our laws, except you're missing the one predicate fact here, ma'am. They're criminals by definition. They're here illegally. They had such reverence for the law that they flagrantly violated it. That's kind of a heavy lift to make. I know you're trying your best, but I got to tell you, I'm going to put that in the swing and a miss category. That's where I am placing it. Now, a couple of things I want to remind you about, just super fast here. If you are noodling around right now and you don't mind, give me a follow over on X. I'd appreciate it. Jeff Katz Show over on X. The Jeff Katz Show on Facebook. Please feel free to follow that as well. Everything that I'm talking about, of course, I always make sure to get it up there, but because I'm so happy to be sitting in for Eric, and Eric's team does such an amazing job with the show notes, everything is there as well. So if you are not yet signed up to get the show notes from Eric, here's how you get them. You text Eric, ERICK, to 33777. You too will get the show notes. Again, text Eric, ERICK, to 33777. It is Jeff Katz in for Eric. This is the Eric Erickson Show.
If you go to AFPvolunteer.com today, you can sign up and be a volunteer with Americans for Prosperity. They are a great group. They are conservative. They're the largest and leading grassroots group in the country. They have chapters in every state, and they'll keep you informed about public policy in your state and at the federal level that affects you and affects your rights and affects your freedoms. And they advocate for common sense conservative reforms to expand free markets and freedom in this country. They believe in school choice. They believe in deregulation on small businesses. They believe in the president's tax cuts. And they mobilize an army of activists to help turn out the vote, and they would love to do it with you. Go to AFPvolunteer.com today, AFPvolunteer.com. I'm on their board of advisors. I give speeches for them around the country, and I've seen how they not only turn out the vote, but they educate citizens about good, common sense, conservative public policy. They'd love to do that with you. All you have to do today is get online and go to AFPvolunteer.com and sign up with Americans for Prosperity today.
When the truth seems hazy, Eric will clear the way. It's the Eric Erickson Show.
122 Cool Day Carrier Traffic Center. Travel advisory between Sandy Springs and Doraville. Crash now in 3 left lanes. 285 eastbound, the Interloop Peachtree Boulevard, exit 31. Take 400 south to 85 north. And a crash in Union City in 2 right lanes. 85 northbound at Flat Shoals, exit 66. Highway 29, the alternate there. Traffic brought to you by John Foy & Associates, personal injury law firm. John Foy & Associates will help you get the care and compensation you deserve after an accident. When you need help, they're here. They're there. You're never a number. Get the strong arm. Call John Foy & Associates today. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
The U.S. is investing up to $1 billion to fight the spread of bird flu.
At the top and bottom of every hour.
Traffic congestion around Metro Atlanta continues to cost commuters.
And when it breaks.
The suspect is in critical condition after being struck multiple times.
Check back 3, 4, 5 times a day for the latest.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's breaking news station.
Omaha Steaks makes your holidays simple. It makes your grilling season simple. It makes football tailgating simple. You go to omahasteaks.com and you load up. You can get the ham, you can get briskets, you can get sides, desserts, you can get the pies, you can get the caramel apple tartlets, you can get the little chocolate. Oh, what are they? The lava cakes? Oh, they're so good. And you can get stuff for meal prep. You can get it all reasonably priced and really great quality at omahasteaks.com. You go to omahasteaks.com at checkout, you'll see a promo code box and you put in Eric, E-R-I-C-K, and you will save $35 more off already unbelievable savings site-wide right now. In time for the holidays, you want to load up the freezer, you want to get ready for the holidays, you're having family coming, they make it easy for you. Don't forget the grilling season and the tailgating and the Sunday night football. They make it so great. You go to omahasteaks.com today. At checkout, you'll see a promo code box. And you put in my name, Eric, E-R-I-C-K. You'll save an extra $35. Minimum order required. See site for details. omahasteaks.com. Go shop today.
Are you starting to consider a new roof, but not sure if it's needed or what it might cost?
Tim Andrews, if you're going to impersonate Scott Slade, you might want to add a little bottom.
A little bottom to it.
A little bass, yes.
I'm working on that.
Well, you don't have to impersonate me. We're both here for FGA Roofing.
I know them.
FGA Roofing offers their free drone assessment. And you'll know if it just needs a fix, a rejuvenation, or a new roof. They'll quote you a price, and if you mention Scott Slade, they'll take $750 off the quote.
What about me?
Mention Tim Andrews, they'll take $750 off the quote.
That's $1,500.
If you mention both of us. And here's the best part. That quote is good for 1 year.
With your good credit, you can take advantage of their 000 offer. That's 0 down payment, 0 payments for 18 months, and 0 interest.
They offer all types of roofs, from architectural or any of the high-end roofs like Slate.
Take the first step now and set up an appointment at FGAroofing.com. That's FGAroofing.com.
Or just Google FGA Roofing.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, E-T-H-O-S, ethos.com/Mike.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
This is Scott Slade, and nothing takes the place of time when it comes to spotting problems with your health, especially cancer. The earlier the better. That's where virtual imaging comes in. Virtual imaging's LDCT body scan can be invaluable, giving you more time for you and your loved ones to take charge of your health. They can detect tumors as early as precancerous virtually anywhere in your body, and aneurysms you may not even know are there. Due to overwhelming demand for a limited time, their $995 core body scan offer has been extended. It's a $2,495 value. Early detection saves lives, and now it's more affordable than ever. Virtual Imaging has gotten such great response to this offer that they've opened up more times in both offices, but appointments will fill up fast, so don't wait. Some minimum requirements may apply. Early detection is your best protection. To schedule your virtual imaging $995 core body scan, call 770-678-SCAN. That's 770-678-SCAN. Or make an appointment by visiting their website at virtualimagingatl.com.
Your non-stop news source, 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
WSB Atlanta, WSBB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Just joined us? No worries. Check out the Eric Erickson Show 24/7 stream at ericerickson.com. Available for Apple CarPlay and Android Auto.
Make sure you check that out. Make sure that you text Eric, E-R-I-C-K, to 33777. Get yourself the show notes. Jeff Katz, happy to be sitting in for my friend Eric. Are you counting down to Black Friday? The reason I ask is that the New York Post says we are counting down to Black Friday. And I thought, well, they might very well know more than I do. I didn't know I was counting down. And then I started thinking, well, wait a minute. I've already started to lay in some gifts for the holidays. Now, here at Casa Cats, we've got Hanukkah as well as Christmas. And the boys, though, my 2 boys, my sons, are 24 and 21. And it has gotten progressively more difficult to buy gifts for them over the years. You know, as little guys, it was easy. Right? Trucks or trains, or could be trains or trucks. But either way, you were pretty much covered. And then you had the annoying relatives, as far as the boys were concerned, who would get them things like clothing. Right? It was super easy. Now, they really are at a point, I'd love to give them some gifts. I have no idea, literally no idea what it is that either one of them would want. And you start thinking, well, the oldest guy is working, but he's working remotely. And if he signs on to take this job that he's doing right now, he's going to be moving to Alaska. And I don't know that I can buy him much, maybe bear spray or something to take up to Alaska. And the little guy is in college. I don't know what it is that he really needs or wants. But we'll chat a little bit about what you're doing this year. It is Jeff in for Eric. This is the Eric Erickson Show.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It is 1:30. Good afternoon. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news is sponsored by Ben Hill Renovation. This is new this afternoon. A convicted murderer running a drug trafficking and money laundering operation while behind bars at Calhoun State Prison near Albany. Jarvis Matthews serving a life sentence, but running his illegal operation using a contraband cell phone and help from his fiancée, girlfriends, and 2 adult sons. They were distributing drugs in and around the metro area. Matthews is now facing a mandatory minimum 25 years in federal prison. That's to run consecutively to the state prison sentence that he's already serving. Your weather for today. Clouds rolling in this afternoon. A stray shower is possible. Afternoon highs around 74, says WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. Update now on the government shutdown. President Trump again saying the only way to end the shutdown is for Republicans in the Senate to end the filibuster rule. Speaking at the White House today, the president said all of the moderate Democrats have left office and the remainder are, quote, left-wing lunatics. Trump noted the departure of senators from Arizona and West Virginia. The filibuster has been used by both parties to block a vote on a bill by prolonging debate. Tree removal work begins today in one East Cobb neighborhood after residents there say the county listened to their concerns.
Survey work is already underway along Columns Drive, where following a community outcry, county officials changed their plans for removing all of the trees in the road's median.
It almost feels like it's worth a party.
Resident Vicki Bowling says county crews will remove 47 of the trees following community meetings with neighbors' input, and they will also landscape and replant 50 trees. That's great news, according to resident Mary Sad Williamson.
We're very grateful for the outcome.
Cobb County DOT officials say the removal and replanting work will take about 8 weeks. In Cobb County, Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
All right, and if you are a water customer in Metro Atlanta, you might be noticing that earthy, musty taste and smell lately to your water, and it's all the result of a natural occurrence in Lake Lanier that happens every year when temperatures cool.
Any sort of algae or anything that has grown over the summer on the surface of the lake kind of shifts to the bottom and completely mixes with the other layers of the lake, and that causes these taste and odor issues.
And Jessica Sterling with the Chattahoochee River Keepers says the water in your tap is treated and is perfectly fine to use for drinking, cooking, and bathing. It's 1:32.
Hey, Rufus, who's a good boy? You know, your roof protects everything, Rufus, and everything you love in your home. And Finley Roofing takes that responsibility seriously. Our veterans protect our freedom, our lives, and all the roofs in our country. Dave Baker here for Finley Roofing, the roof guys. You know, Veterans Day is November 11th, Rufus, and Finley Roofing wants to thank our local veterans with a special $1,500 discount on roof replacement. Wait, what's that, boy? Rufus says these are the only vets he likes, so he's begging you to go to the Finley Roofing Facebook page, nominate your favorite veteran, and they could win a prize package with Eric Church concert tickets, cool swag, roofing discounts, and more. That boy. Veterans protect us, and Finley Roofing wants to protect veterans. Hurry, the $1,500 roof replacement discount ends November 11th, and 0% financing is available. Schedule your free roof analysis today at finleyroofing.com.
The Scott Antique Markets is back at the Atlanta Expo Center, featuring hundreds of vendors with collectibles and merchandise from all over the world. We're on both sides of I-285 exit 55 on Jonesboro Road. Visit scottantiquemarket.com for more information.
Don't delay peace of mind. Ace Hardware Home Services makes it simple to upgrade your heating, cooling, or plumbing with financing that works for your budget. Visit acehardwarehomeservices.com. Ace Hardware Home Services, bringing helpful to your home.
Is your financial advisor offering you up to a 30% upfront bonus? Or are they promising you up to 10% growth per year, all for your retirement income? If not, then you need to come to Trajan Wealth. I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. If you have a plan to retire within the next 10 years, don't wait only to find out it's too late. I've seen hardworking folks like you retire only to be required to go back to work, all because their advisor told them guarantees like these were too good to be true. They're not. That's up to $30,000 upfront or up to $10,000 per year on $100,000, all guaranteed for retirement income. Don't keep working when you're supposed to be retired, and don't let any financial advisor tell you it's too good to be true. Call Trajan today. 404-208-3300. That's 404-208-3300.
Annuities, non-advisory products. DBA Trajan Wealth Insurance Solutions. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
Live team coverage of traffic and weather, Alex Williams.
Still watching these two travel advisories. Crash 285 eastbound, the inner loop at Peachtree Boulevard, exit 31 into left lanes, and then 185 north in Union City at Flat Shoals in two right lanes. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Becoming mostly cloudy for this afternoon with an isolated rain shower possible, high 74. Rain showers late tonight into early tomorrow morning, lows in the low 60s.
We'll have more news at 2 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens, 95.5 WSB.
Yes, Jeff Katz, happy to be filling in for Eric today. I am looking at the New York Post that says they've got all sorts of deals, and I thought it was great, and then I realized, oh, okay, well, now, wait a minute, it's not that they're doing a story on how the rest of us are getting ready. They're kind of sort of suggesting things, but it did lead me down the rabbit hole because I just could not help scrolling. And scrolling and thinking, I don't even know what that is, but we probably need one. And I know what Heidi wants. I've already started purchasing a few things for Heidi. But we're also at the stage, it's so twisted. We really are at the stage where we keep saying we literally, honestly, do not need anything else. And in fact, we're at that stage that we are trying to get rid of things. We don't need anything new. I don't know if it's strictly a function of age. It might be. This come as a shock to you. I've never actually been as old as I am today. So it might be. I don't know. But I look at all of the stuff that I've got, and God, I've got a lot of stuff. Oh, have I got a lot of stuff. And I think neither one of my sons wants any of my stuff. None. None of it. Neither one of them. My one son said to me, and he said with a certain degree of love and affection and a big pile of steaming you-know-what, Dad, I don't take this the wrong way, which you immediately know means that he's going to say something that is so unbelievably offensive that of course you're not going to take it the wrong way. You're going to take it in exactly the way that he intends it. He said, I don't want you to, don't take this the wrong way, Dad, but could you start throwing out some of your stuff so that when you die, I don't have to do it? Sure. Yeah, let me get started on that right away. I'll take care of that for you, okay? Yeah, you're right. I mean, why should I burden you? And then I thought, well, the heck with you. No. I'm going to make you deal with all of this stuff. And then I realized how unfair it was, because my mom did the same thing. My dad, not so much before he died. He didn't have a lot of stuff to begin with, and the stuff that he did have, it was some of the stuff I want, some of the stuff I'm looking at right now. Things that remind me that he served as a military police officer in the Army. The certificate here from President Richard Nixon acknowledging his bravery and heroism, and a couple of nightsticks that he used to carry when he was an MP. A brassard, an armband that he wore as an MP. His old nameplate when he was an MP. And there are a few other things. Have the flag that covered his casket when he died. So, there are a few things. There are a few things. But my mom was a nurse. And my mom was oh so clinical. Her entire life, that my brother and I had her in our lives, obviously, as long as she was around. She was very clinical. She was a nurse. Everything was pretty straightforward. And I was visiting a few years back, and my mom had two tablets, two Post-it note things. I think one was yellow and one was orange or something, or green, or whatever the other one was. And I was visiting her in Florida, and my brother was there. And she said, okay, boys, I want you to each take one of those pads of Post-it notes, and you are going to go around the house, put Post-it notes on the stuff you want. And we both sort of looked at each other like, really? It's like, yep. Okay. Because I don't want there to be any fighting after I'm gone. Well, you have to understand something. You've got to really, really figure this out. We weren't going to fight about any of this. You know what I mean? Because as we walked around the house, we kept looking at each other going, do you want that? No, not really. Well, do you want it? No. All right, boys, put somebody's going to have that. Put your sticker on there. So we walked around with these Post-it note dots. I mean, they're all over the house. And then we still got stuck with all this stuff. So what are you doing? And the reason I mentioned this, we've got lower prices, according to the White House, for Thanksgiving. Yeah, you bring a gift. But it is more than that, and it ought to be more than that. And if it's not more than, well, we're just going to eat, then you're missing a huge chunk of it. And as far as I'm concerned, the same thing with Hanukkah and with Christmas. And you have to understand, a little lesson for you. Hanukkah is not, quote, the Jewish Christmas. Hanukkah does not have the same importance on the Jewish calendar that Christmas does on the Christian calendar. Here in the United States, obviously, because of timing and a desire for everybody to get gifts, we all want gifts, they've kind of resulted in this mishmash. Now, the lesson of Hanukkah is a good one. It's a very important one, and it really came into play after October the 7th, 2023. Because Hanukkah is all about Jews standing up and fighting back. I've said this many times, and I've said it even more now that I came home from Israel. I came back after some time over there. The whole world loved the Jews when we were attacked. They just don't like us when we fight back. Right? That's when everybody says, well, we're okay with the Jews getting beat up, but don't punch back there, Jews. You just keep taking the punches, and we'll keep telling you how much we care about you. And I thought, no, we're not going to do that. Not going to do that. So as you're looking at those gifts, and the New York Post does have a great piece. I'm telling you, they're monitoring everything, every single solitary thing, the new Black Friday items, the early Black Friday items, hey, we're not even close to Black Friday, but here's a great sale for you items. Go, take a look at it. It's part of the show notes today. You can see it. But I do urge everybody to be cognizant of some of the bigger issues. You're traveling for the holidays? Well, good luck. Once again, cuts 700 flights cut by American Airlines. Let me rephrase that. Domestic airlines. I don't want you to think it was just American. It's a variety of domestic U.S.-based airlines. Why? Well, because of this Schumer shutdown. Because air traffic controllers are missing. I don't blame them either. Do you? I think they have an obligation, but they've also got obligations to their families. They got obligations to making sure their kids can eat, for goodness sakes. That's a big obligation. If you listen to Joy Behar, okay, that would be mistake number one. But let's say, for the sake of argument, you listen to or watch Joy Behar, an even bigger mistake. She's over with the Yakking Yentas on The View. She is convinced that Republicans want unsafe skies and no health care for anybody. Take a listen to cut number one.
So let's reiterate for a second, because I'm not really clear what's going on for me. Mm-hmm. So there's a shutdown because the Republicans don't want to give extended Obamacare, right? It's about
the subsidies for Obamacare.
They don't want to do that.
Included in this.
Their ultimate reason, though, is that because they want to get rid of Obamacare altogether, even though they don't have a plan. Even Marjorie Taylor Greene said that, right?
Right.
So, and that will give them money to give tax cuts to people who already have a lot of money.
Well, those have been signed into law.
Right? So because of all that, people's safety in the air is now compromised.
Correct.
Okay, let's be clear what they're trying to do. And they're also trying to blame it all on Democrats. But an NBC poll says 52% blame the Republicans. They do not blame the Democrats for this. The Democrats want you to have safety in the air and your health care. Right. and the other side does not want you to have your health care. That's basically what it boils down to.
I
and
respectfully
Americans, you should
disagree.
not, I never give speeches. You should not put up with this. We are all going places in the air. This girl can't fly. Why? She's got to go someplace. I don't know where it is. Where are you going?
She's going to go to Florida.
No, you're going to go to Florida. Are you fleeing New York? Did anybody ever think that the movie Escape from New York was actually a documentary? Because that's what it's becoming. Where is Snake Plissken when you need him, right? Joy Behar saying, I never give speeches. Ma'am, that's all you do. And they're not really good speeches, but that really is all that you do. And the lack of candor exhibited by her right there was appalling. But Democrats have been manipulated, and people have continually been manipulated by Democrats to act against their own best interest. You're seeing it every single day. Let me tell you about what's happening here in Virginia. As a proud Virginian for now about 15 years, I've been, somewhere around there. I don't feel safe like I did before. Why? Because of the election on Tuesday. Here in Virginia, elections go back and forth. In fact, take a look at it anywhere and everywhere in America. Elections go back and forth. We go R, we go D, we go left, we go right. We're a little this way, we're a little that way. Happens all the time. Now, there's no great shock there. You might not be happy because your team didn't do as well as you had hoped. Believe me, I understand that. But big picture, there are things that are far more important than one election here, one election there, right? Even though we hear the speechifying, each is the most important election in the history of elections, and that can't possibly be because the last time we voted 8 weeks ago, you told me that was. So at some point, that kind of loses the appeal, the luster, the value. But here in Virginia, something absolutely appalling happened. And it wasn't just the election of someone we all refer to as CIA Abby, Abigail Spanberger. She's a far left-wing lady. Wasn't actually that. The election of Ghazala Hashmi, who spent time standing up for the Hamas crowd, who has made it clear she doesn't like Jews. Who's said, along with the governor-elect, that perfectly okay for boys to steal the scholarships of girls and for naked criminal guys, adults, to be in locker rooms with young girls. Totally on board with that. It wasn't even that. It was the election of a guy named Jay Jones. And I know Eric has spoken about it because I've heard him speaking about it. But I'm living it. I watched our Attorney General here in Virginia for the last 4 years, Jason Miyares. Jason is a career prosecutor. Jason, strong supporter of law enforcement, not a friend to criminals. Jay Jones, not only himself a criminal, he is now under a criminal investigation because of charges that he lied to the court about his community service. He was clocked doing 116 miles an hour on a stretch of road. Other people in court that day in New Kent County, which is 2 counties away from me, other people in court in New Kent on that day charged with similar offenses, even though they were driving slower, they went to jail. Jay Jones got a sweetheart deal that said you'll do community service. Well, Jay Jones was happy with that because that community service he did for his own political action committee. And the charge now is that he lied to the court all about it. And so there is a special prosecutor right now handling that case. Jay Jones, I know you've heard these statements that he made about wanting to put 2 bullets into the head of somebody with whom he disagreed politically, wanting people's children to die in their mother's arms while we watched because, well, that's the only way he knows that you can get somebody to change their mind politically. Now, he is going to be, in about 10 weeks' time, my Attorney General here in Virginia. Now, you tell me how safe I am going to be. You tell me how anyone Democrat, Republican, left, right, center could look at that man and say he's the guy who we ought to entrust as the chief prosecutor, as the top law enforcement officer for the Commonwealth of Virginia. It is outrageous. It is absurd. And it is why so many are now looking here in Virginia, and a lot of us having conversations about leaving. What a shame that would be. But I can tell you right now, any number of businesses are going to leave because the right to work here in Virginia, that's going to come to an end very soon. And you're going to see the rise of some major union power brokers out of New Jersey and New York, et cetera, operating here. Elections have consequences. But in the case of the Attorney General here in Virginia, those elections have a consequence that sadly could result in violence. Terrible, terrible violence. It's a bad situation to be in. Make sure that you give me a follow, if you don't mind, over on X, Jeff Katz Show. Jeff Katz Show on X, The Jeff Katz Show on Facebook. Make sure that you text ERICK, ERICK, to 33777 to get the show notes. You do not want to miss out on that. It is Jeff Katz in for Eric. It is the Eric Erickson Show.
If you go to ericforhillsdale.com, you can sign up and take one of their incredible classes. They've got 40 to choose from. They're completely free to you. You get a certificate of completion. You get to understand what sets Hillsdale College apart. You go to ericforhillsdale.com, ERICK, for hillsdale.com. And each class, they're 30-minute videos. You do them at your own pace. It depends on which class you sign up for, how many videos there are, but they're all 30 minutes. Individually paced for you with Hillsdale's faculty, and they're just good. You learn stuff. It's education, not indoctrination, at ericforhillsdale.com. ERICK, ericforhillsdale.com. You get the certificate of completion, and you learn what sets Hillsdale apart, why you should build a relationship with them. They've got great ones on the Constitution, economics, chemistry, math, history, philosophy, you name it, all available for you at no cost. Eric, ERICK, ericforhillsdale.com.
Those who love him, listen to find out what he's going to say next. Those who disagree with him, also listen to see what he's going to say next. It's the Eric Erickson Show.
152, Cool Day Carrier Traffic Center. Better news in Union City. Crash cleared. 85 northbound. Flat Shoals Road, exit 66. Those delays out of Fairburn will start to improve. Crash still in 2 left lanes in Dunwoody. 285 eastbound, the inner loop, Peachtree Boulevard. And checking new trouble, 285 northbound, the outer loop at La Vista Road in Tucker. Traffic brought to you by Hadestown at the Fox Theater. The Tony and Grammy award-winning musical Hadestown returns to the Fox Theater November 14th through 16th for 5 performances only. Tickets are on sale now at BroadwayInAtlanta.com. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
The longest government shutdown in U.S. history is wreaking havoc on air travel.
The nation's busiest travel hubs are among those expected to face cuts. Atlanta, Chicago.
Crowded airports, dangerous skies, and air traffic controllers and TSA agents under pressure.
We've got air traffic controllers and technicians that are not being paid,
causing long delays here in Hartsfield-Jackson Airport.
Security lines Monday in excess of 3 hours long.
What happens next?
And this week really could be a tipping point in terms of reliability at the nation's airports.
Tune in often throughout the day for the latest.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's breaking news station.
Dave Baker here for Artisan Custom Closets. Ever been looking for your favorite sweater only to find it in the bottom of the pile in your master closet, sitting on a wire rack, and when you put it on, you look like a waffle? Wouldn't be that way if you had Artisan Custom Closets upgrade your closets. Your clothes would remain beautiful all year. Schedule your free design consultation today with a certified master artisan designer at artisancustomclosets.com and reward yourself with affordable luxury over the holidays. artisancustomclosets.com.
Hi, I'm Dylan, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. As a customer service specialist, I love helping couples find their dream engagement ring. And guess what? I just got engaged, so it was fun to create one myself. First, my fiance tried on a bunch of ring styles and she was drawn to a classic diamond pave setting. Then we looked at different diamond shapes from pear to oval to cushion. She fell in love with a princess cut. At Shane Company, you can create a one-of-a-kind ring and get it in days, not weeks. Because a friend wants you to have a magical holiday proposal. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Kids across America are going to school hungry. Millions of kids every day. Hungry kids get sick more often and can struggle in school. It can be harder for them to focus and learn. But one simple thing can help change all of this for a hungry child in America. Good, healthy food and the energy it brings. With help from caring people across America, No Kid Hungry is providing healthy meals and hope to hungry kids so they can build better futures.
We want to ensure that all of our kids have healthy meals every day.
Thank you.
Thank you for helping feed our kids.
To learn more about ending child hunger in America, go to helpnokidhungry.org today.
Scott Slade here to talk to you about your health, and I think it's real important to talk about what is most likely to kill you. Heart disease is the #1 killer of Americans, and the older we get, the more prevalent it is. But you can reduce your risk. Eat right, don't smoke, exercise, and be informed about what's going on in your own body. Like lots of potentially serious health problems, if you catch heart disease early, you vastly increase your chances of living a longer life. And that's where virtual imaging comes in. Virtual imaging scans take less than 10 minutes and screen with 98% accuracy for heart disease. Other scans, including brain and full body, are available too. Virtual imaging is locally owned and operated in Atlanta for over 15 years, so they can make you this terrific offer. A complimentary heart scan for you and your spouse with a few minimum requirements. So don't put this off. I've done it. Call Virtual Imaging today for your free heart scan. 770-678-SCAN. That's 770-678-7226. Or visit their website at virtualimagingatl.com.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
It is the Eric Erickson Show. Jeff Katz, happy to be sitting in today. A number of folks reaching out saying, Jeff, it was very interesting to hear about this Jay Jones character in Virginia. Eric, of course, has been talking about it. If I stick around in Virginia, will have to deal with it for the next 4 years. And it is weird. It is odd to think not even 2 months after the murder, after the assassination of Charlie Kirk, here in Virginia, people have elected someone who advocates violence against those people who disagree with his political view of the world. Not even a full 2 months, right? Charlie Kirk was murdered on September the 10th, right? Day after my birthday. The two will forever be tied together. I mean, my birthday run now includes, my birthday is the highlight, right, as it should be. But the assassination of Charlie Kirk, the anniversaries of September the 11th, 2001. And imagine less than 2 months after Charlie's murder here in Virginia, by a pretty sizable margin, unfortunately, the people of Virginia voted to elect someone who advocates violence against political opponents. And in New York City, a major victory for a guy who has cozied up to the Hamas crowd, who is going to preside over the 25th anniversary of the September 11th, 2001 attacks. It just gets curiouser and curiouser, doesn't it, every single day. It is Jeff Katz sitting in for Eric. This is the Eric Erickson Show.
The news of the day through the eyes of Eric Von Hessler.
This might help, young man. This might cure what ails you.
If it's on your mind, it's on his.
I run a stupid little radio show. I don't care. Have fun.
Eric Von Hessler, today at 3.
Your friend, Eric Von Hessler, the common sense host.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
I'm so excited to hear my son's band play tonight. They've been... sorry, be right back. They've been rehearsing... bathroom break. Overactive bladder can mean missing out on life's moments, navigating life around the nearest bathroom instead of the next experience. Medtronic therapies have treated nearly 500,000 people worldwide with bladder or bowel control problems. Let Medtronic show you what's possible. Visit medtronic.com/bladderhelp to learn how.
There's never a good time for your garage door to break.
Whether you're rushing to work or you're trying to get the kids to school. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello at A1 Garage Door Service. We know how much you rely on your garage door. That's why we offer same-day repairs. Because life doesn't wait, and neither should you. When your garage door stops working, trust A1 to get you moving again fast. From repairs to upgrades, it's A1 from day one. Call A1 Garage Door Service today.
A1 from day one.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
At 2 o'clock, I'm Bill Caiaccio with our top local story. A violent felon is convicted of running a major illegal operation while locked up in a Georgia prison.
He's a convicted murderer who was running a drug trafficking and money laundering operation while behind bars at Calhoun State Prison near Albany. Jarvis Matthews was serving a life sentence, but running his illegal operation using a contraband cell phone and help from his fiancée, girlfriends, and his 2 adult sons. They were distributing drugs in and around the Atlanta area, according to the U.S. Attorney of the Northern District of Georgia. Matthews is now facing a mandatory minimum 25 years in federal prison. That'll run consecutively to the state prison sentence he's already serving. Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
71 degrees in Atlanta. Will we see any rain for Friday night football? Meteorologist Christina Edwards has Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up. It is day one of flight reductions at Hartsfield-Jackson and other major airports in the U.S. because of the ongoing government shutdown. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy defends the decision to reduce flights.
I have a number one job of keeping people safe. I've looked at data. I want to be preemptive, and I want to make sure people are safe in the system.
He cites the increasing number of unpaid air traffic controllers who are calling out sick. Consumer sentiment is nearing a record low on worries of the government shutdown. The University of Michigan's early reading for November fell more than 6% from last month. The larger than expected drop pushed consumer sentiment to its lowest level in 3 years. Residents along Collins Drive in East Cobb are pleased with new plans for the county to remove 47 trees from the roadway median.
Very excited for the residents along Collins Drive, very excited for the people that come down to the park. The fact that we're saving those gorgeous magnolias and the healthy trees. There's just hardly a place like that in Atlanta.
Mary Sad Williamson says the county listened to their concerns. The county will replant 50 trees in the medians. Removal work is expected to take 8 weeks. Metro Atlanta bracing for a blast of bitter cold air on Monday. Georgia Power is urging customers to make sure their homes are ready for this frigid air.
You want to make sure that your heat is coming through the home like it should be. Check your HVAC system. Make sure you have insulation and you're sealing your leaks where they need to be sealed, around your windows, your doors.
Georgia Power's Amanda Sowles also tells us they have energy assistant teams traveling around the state to help customers in need sign up for the different programs they have to help with heating costs. It is now 2:02. This news is sponsored by Bread Beckers. Up next, live team coverage of traffic and weather.
You still want a new deck on your house, but you think you may have missed a deck building window? Well, you're wrong. Dave Baker here for Ben Hill Renovations, my deck experts. What makes them my experts? Well, for starters, when you have Ben Hill Renovations upgrading your outdoor living space, you're dealing with professionals. You have a company building to code, current and future. You have a company pulling permits when needed, with a dedicated project manager for every job, superior craftsmanship from over 60-plus years of experience, and all backed by their workmanship warranty. Whether you want a screened-in porch, an outdoor living area, a multi-story wraparound deck, or just a simple deck with a set of stairs, Ben Hill Renovations has you covered. Plus, they offer multiple financing options, up to 18 months, no interest with affordable monthly payments. Check out their new website at bhrenovations.com and set up an appointment, or visit their showroom and speak with a designer. You won't be disappointed. Ben Hill Renovations, creating raving fans since 1964.
This is Andy Harris, president of Coosa Valley Credit Union, inviting you to come see us for your auto loan needs. If you're buying a car or refinancing your current auto loan, at Coosa Valley Credit Union, you'll get one of the lowest interest rates in the market, as low as 3.49 APR when you open an account with a direct deposit. Coosa Valley Credit Union is local and nearby in Northwest Georgia. Plus, you'll always speak to a real person when dealing with us. That's what we call kinder banking.
Contact 706-235-8551 for more details. Equal Opportunity Lender.
Sell your home with Mark Spain Real Estate and get the strongest cash offer in the industry. You'll save time, make the most money, and eliminate all the hassle. Hi, it's Chris Chandler. The guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate allows you to bypass the market, receive an all-cash offer, and close in as little as 21 days. Mark Spain Real Estate's been in the business for nearly 30 years and has helped more than 72,000 satisfied clients. Trust the most experienced real estate team in the U.S. to sell your home quickly and for top dollar. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today and start packing.
If your home smells musty and moldy, don't wait. Moisture and mold not only produce that old home smell, it can even weaken your home's foundation. At American Crawl Space Solutions, we stop the problem at its source. From encapsulation and waterproofing to mold remediation and foundation repair, we give you the right solution without high-pressure sales tactics. Get peace of mind with American Crawl Space Solutions, your best value in crawl space repair.
American Crawl Space Solutions. Foundations too.
It is 2:05 and time for live team coverage of traffic and weather on this Friday afternoon in the 24-hour traffic center. Alex Williams.
Hey, good afternoon, Bill. Not so good in DeKalb County. Travel advisory crash 285 northbound, the outer loop at La Vista Road, exit 37 in Tucker. 2 right lanes are blocked. You're stacking up back toward Clarkston. And even before that, it looks like we've had a crash, hopefully clearing, but impacting the left lane both ways. 285 north and southbound around Glenwood Road. And up in Dorville and Dunwoody, crash cleared. All lanes open. 285 eastbound, the inner loop Peachtree Boulevard, exit 31. Still some lingering delays, though, back toward Georgia 400, but that's getting better. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Becoming mostly cloudy for this afternoon with an isolated rain shower possible. High 74. Rain showers late tonight into early tomorrow morning. Lows in the low 60s.
73 in East Point, 69 in Duluth, and 70 in Cartersville. More news at 2:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
Today on The Eric Erickson Show, he's an ex-cop, member of the New England Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame, Talkers Magazine Humanitarian of the Year, and a 30-year talk radio veteran. Filling in for Eric today, Jeff Katz.
I am so happy. Well, to be Jeff Katz for sure, but to be filling in for my friend Eric today. I am thrilled to share with you that Nancy Pelosi, in fact, is retiring. I know you're thinking, Jeff, I heard that yesterday. I know, I just love saying it. There are just certain things that bring joy to me, little tiny, teeny things. Like reminding myself that Hillary Clinton is not president. That's a good thing. Reminding me and you and everybody that Nancy Pelosi is leaving. It's a good thing to hear. Being reminded that Rosie O'Donnell is no longer America's problem. Great. Fantastic. Other things? Yeah, there are one or two other things. My lovely bride just came home from grocery shopping. But she had to make a detour at, I don't know, any number of stores, and apparently there was a whole bunch of stuff we needed that nobody knew we needed, and now we have it. And just after I told you we're trying to get rid of stuff, she's arrived with more stuff. More things for the boys to deal with after we both pass away. It's like a curse. I'm telling you. People talk about generational wealth. Some of us have either dealt with or are providing generational crap. Junk. It's like a punishment. It really is. Oh, you know what? Let's just take a listen to President Trump, because President Trump had a reaction to Nancy Pelosi's retirement. And, well, it's going to put a smile on your face. Cut number 7.
Chatted with President Trump about this breaking news that Nancy Pelosi will be leaving Washington. He tells me the following, and this is a quote. "The retirement of Nancy Pelosi is a great thing for America. She was evil, corrupt, and only focused on bad things for our country. She was rapidly losing control of her party, and it was never coming back. I'm very honored. She impeached me twice and failed miserably twice. Nancy Pelosi is a highly overrated politician." And so that is the first word, but definitely not the last word, from President Trump about this, because about 90 minutes from right now, we do expect to see him in the Oval Office. The two of them, of course, throughout his entire first term, had historic battles, whether it was over funding, whether it was over his impeachment. The two.
Yeah. Listen, President Trump is right about how Nancy Pelosi's party is no longer the party that Nancy Pelosi thought she was leading. That's something that you and I have to deal with, right? Nancy Pelosi's in the rearview mirror now. That's it. Broomstick One is relocating once again, I guess, to San Francisco. Won't be parked at the White House or the Capitol or anywhere in D.C. anymore. Great. The problem is, what has become of that Democrat Party? I'm not looking necessarily to demonize that party, right? It's not my party anymore. It stopped being my party many decades ago. I have dear friends who have always found themselves as, quote, conservatives or as Republicans, or is it right? I grew up in Philadelphia. I was active in labor. I was a Democrat. I was always a Democrat. We grew up as Democrats. Everybody we knew was a Democrat. But those Democrats, sort of Scoop Jackson, lunchbox Democrats, we don't really exist anymore. We just don't, because the party has gone in a different direction. What does that say to me? I gave up on the Democrats long before this happened, but now it's just a reminder to me of how unwelcome I would be in this modern incarnation of the Democrats. And I suppose parties have a tendency to change. Although in the past here in America, what have we seen? We've just seen entire parties go away. We're not electing all that many Whigs anymore, right? We just don't see them. We don't have the Federalists floating around. And we have these two parties that, in theory at least, right of center, left of center, but pretty close to the center is how it's been for a long time. And that is no longer the case, not even close to the case anymore. What we do have now is a far left-wing party, a socialist party that has embraced the very worst in terms of people advocating for violence, encouraging violence, embracing violence. A party that has made very clear there's not really any room for free market people. There's not any room for those of us who are people of faith, be that faith Judaism or a committed Christianity. There's no room in that Democrat Party for anyone who doesn't go along with the abortion on demand garbage. There's just no room for us. We are not welcome. They've made that very clear. It's why, to me, it's so fascinating to watch folks like Schmuck Schumer out of New York. He is so desperate to retain his position in the U.S. Senate, not because he believes in anything, because I don't know that he's ever believed in anything. It is this lust for power. And like Nancy Pelosi, he sees that the party that in theory he supported, in theory he was the head of, it doesn't exist anymore. He's not welcome in that party anymore. 10, 15 years ago, Bernie Sanders was the most extreme person. Too extreme for the Democrats. Radical leftist, radical socialist. The Democrats themselves said, no, we're not going to allow him to win the nomination. We're giving it to Hillary Clinton. They made that choice. It's their party, not mine. Now, the Bernie Sanders ideas, they're not extreme at all in the Democrats, are they? In fact, they're the mainstream. In fact, some of them are not even radical enough. Where do you go from here becomes my question. And I don't know. I honestly don't know. Is the group of disaffected Americans, will the group of disaffected Americans who used to be part of the Democrats, will they simply join with Republicans again? I thought they would. The problem was Tuesday. Did you follow any of the results? No, I live in Virginia, so we had a very active election, and we watched the Republicans here in Virginia get absolutely trounced. Why? Because of huge turnout from Democrats? There was good turnout. It wasn't gigantic. We were burdened with a couple of different things here in Virginia. We had a very poorly run gubernatorial campaign with a nominee who was really a bad campaigner. That's just the truth. But we also had this lack of voters. In Virginia, this past Tuesday, there were 1 million Virginians who voted for Donald Trump a year ago who could not be bothered to come out and vote in this election. Those million Donald Trump voters would have prevented what happened on Tuesday. I chatted with my friends up in New Jersey. They said exactly the same thing, that these, what's the term now? Low propensity voters, I think is the term that's thrown around. People who vote for Donald Trump when Donald Trump is on the ticket, which I think is great, because I certainly proudly have voted for Donald Trump when Donald Trump is on the ticket. But if you don't want Donald Trump to be impeached again, and you would like Donald Trump's policies, which are working, to continue, then you need to get off of your rear end during the times that Donald Trump is not on the ballot, or you are just doing half the job. In this case, you did more than half the job for the Democrats who ran on the whole idea of turning on and tearing down President Trump. I just don't understand that. I don't. And then you get President Trump, who is so effective, with such an effective team, eliminating the dangers of the border for the most part, doing the right thing for the American people. And then you have the legacy news media hacks at ABC, CBS, these morning shows. What do? They want to give you a totally fictional twist on this. Take a listen to cut number 5.
We're going to move on now to the arrest of a teacher at a Chicago daycare center taken into custody by ICE agents. Critics say the agency went too far. The government is defending the arrest, and our Aaron Katursky is here with the story for us. Good morning, Aaron.
Good morning, Michael. This is drawing outrage in Chicago, where federal immigration agents are being accused of following a beloved teacher into her daycare, then dragging her out in front of the kids. The Department of Homeland Security says that's not what happened at all.
Rayuta del Sol Spanish Immersion Early Learning Center had just opened for the day. Parents were dropping off their kids when eyewitnesses say federal immigration agents chased a woman who cares for infants inside the school, then forcibly took her out.
For someone to just take a preschool teacher who pours herself into these children is just not right.
Elected officials say the agents showed no warrant and ignored the teacher when she told them she had work papers.
They didn't just walk in chasing one person. They went into multiple rooms asking and looking for teachers while children were present. This is an agency that has gone rogue.
In a statement, the Department of Homeland Security said officers attempted to conduct a targeted traffic stop, but the male driver and female passenger ran into a daycare and attempted to barricade themselves inside. ICE said the teacher, Diana Galliano, entered the country illegally in 2023 and last month tried to smuggle in her children. Congressman Mike Quigley says Galliano has a work permit and legal documentation.
No parent should ever have to explain to their child why their teacher was dragged away by armed officers. And no teacher should fear that showing up to work to care for and educate kids could result in their arrest.
The community demanding the woman's release.
For this to be a reality of all the parents standing here is insane. It is surreal. It is a nightmare.
All of this occurred as a federal judge in Chicago is considering whether to put restrictions on certain tactics of immigration agents. And in this teachers community, there is real worry, guys, about where these ICE agents may go next.
Oh, really? Well, here's an observation from me. Who cares? Who cares? You want to paint these lovely, sympathetic portraits of people who are committing crimes. I'm not interested. Jeff, it's wrong to separate children from their parents for a crime. Is it? Well, I would strongly suggest you go and visit any jail or any prison in America. You know what you're going to find? You're going to find a lot of inmates who have kids on the outside. We don't get upset about that. I don't hear a giant hue and cry saying, well, you can't lock somebody up for that crime because, you know, they're kids on the outside. Well, the only thing that happens now is apparently when you violate the laws of the United States of America to come into the United States, that's when you shouldn't be separated from your kids, even though you committed the crime. Well, this woman pours her heart and soul into these children. Good. Glad to hear it. And now she is in the custody of ICE for breaking the law. Guess what, kids? This happens every single day. You don't want to get arrested? Don't break the law. Thank you. Next question. I think it's an amazing lesson, don't you? For those children, maybe it is a horrifying lesson. My God, I can't believe that Miss So-and-so got taken out of here. But don't use these stupid terms like she was disappeared. They didn't have papers. Not interested. Not interested in the least. Don't forget, you need to text ERIC, E-R-I-C-K, to 33777. Get yourself the show notes today and every day. And, while you're doing stuff on your phone, go to X. Would you follow Jeff Katz Show on X? Follow Jeff Katz Show on X. It is Jeff Katz in for Eric. This is the Eric Erickson Show.
Guys, Swiss America has been warning people about a secret war on cash for quite a while. They're good people. I actually bought gold with them. And, you know, when I saw how things were going, they were telling me, like, the BRIC nations moving to gold, China buying gold, that the price was going to go up. I was like, I guess I'll finally buy some. I'm not a crypto guy, but gold makes sense. Swiss America helped me out. They're the nation's trusted leader and have been for 40 years in precious metals. And they've been warning about a secret war on cash for quite a while. You can get their report, The Secret War on Cash, by calling or texting 800-289-2646. The all-out war on cash includes digital forms of currency, and it's growing. So get The Secret War on Cash report for free. Call them or text them, my name, Eric, 800-289-2646, or go to SwissAmerica.com/Eric, SwissAmerica.com/ERICK, or just tell them Eric sent you, or text Eric, ERICK, to 800-289-2646. 800-289-2646. Let Swiss America help you. Message and data rates may apply.
Honest.
Putting your trust in me to tell you what's going on.
Transparent.
I need you to know this from the bottom of my heart.
Giving you the information without the noise.
My job isn't to tell you what you want to hear, it's to tell you the truth.
It's the Eric Erickson Show.
222 Coolray Carrier Traffic Center. Still got this crash working in Tucker, 285 northbound, the outer loop, La Vista Road, exit 37. Two right lanes are blocked. You're slow back to Church Street. Before that, you're jammed up 285 east and northbound from Boulder Crest Road up to a crash between I-20 and Glenwood Road. And just slow downtown from the 85-400 merge southbound to I-20. Traffic brought to you by the Georgia Lottery. Tomorrow's Powerball jackpot is $467 million. Powerball players can win millions playing in-store or online at GALottery.com. Only from the Georgia Lottery. Drawings every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
WSB is your home of the Dogs.
Snap it back, hand it to Bowen.
This week, Georgia battles Mississippi State in an SEC showdown.
35-30, down the hack.
Pre-game coverage starts tomorrow at 8 a.m. Kickoff at noon.
20, 10, 5, touchdown.
Only on your home of the Dogs, 95.5 WSB.
Chauncey Bowens, he ripped him a new one.
Brought to you in part by Hoffman Financial Group, official partner of the Georgia Bulldogs.
Got a leaky pipe, heating, or cooling issue? Ace Hardware Home Services is around the corner with everything you need to fix it, including the expert to do the fixing. We're not just the helpful hardware folks, we're the helpful home service and repair folks too. From plumbing to heating and cooling, the licensed and insured experts at Ace Hardware Home Services are ready to keep your home running smoothly all year long. Online at acehardwarehomeservices.com or call 770-233-7787.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed. Chris, every week on the show, we offer folks something we call the Portfolio X-Ray. I was hoping you could walk us through that process and tell us why the information it uncovers is so powerful.
Yeah, so the reason we love doing the Portfolio X-Ray for you is we do that behind the scenes. Everybody's extremely busy. Nobody wants to waste time in traffic. If you call in, we will ask you for some information via the phone. Once you've given us that information, we go to work and we put all the hours in developing the report. And I commit this to you. The Portfolio X-Ray is eye-opening. At least 90+% of the time, we can find 2 or 3 golden nuggets in there that you were not aware of that we can either change in your current portfolio mix for you. It's called a 401k optimizer. Or if we manage the assets for you, we certainly can recommend how to diversify away from some of the troubling points that are exposed during the Portfolio X-Ray. Once we've got that, then we'll have you in for your initial consultation. We will present the Portfolio X-Ray to you and walk you through the high points of it. And that's a document that you get to take with you. It's like getting a financial physical. Mm-hmm. So how many of you avoided going to the doctor for the annual physical last year? You do the same thing with your financial life. You ignore it. You keep pumping money into your 401k. You hope that it's going well, and I can tell you that hope is not a good investment or financial planning strategy. You need to know. So if you want to know, call us.
The Portfolio X-Ray is complimentary. Give Hoffman Financial Group a call to schedule yours today. 404-737-3858, 404-737-3858, or online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
Comcast Business can help turn your small business into a connected, secure, modern business. It's how retailers become constantly connecting must-visit shops. How restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How healthcare offices become the data-protecting caregivers that we all depend on. And how wealth management firms become cyber-securing guardians of your information. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, and Wi-Fi backup, your business can stay connected and get threat-ready with Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get started with our reliable business internet. Plus, stay connected when you add Wi-Fi backup for just $35 a month. And ask about a $400 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Call today. Restrictions apply. Wireless Connect requires business internet for additional monthly charge. Taxes and other fees extra. Prepaid card offer ends 11/16/25.
It's hard to believe it's time to start talking about Christmas, but I've got some seriously special gift ideas for you from D. Geller & Son Jewelers. They're all about the magic of custom, personalized jewelry. They've been creating lifelong memories since 1939, and now you can create them right along with their team. A custom birthstone and earring necklace set, a one-of-a-kind dream-worthy ring, unbeatable value, and absolutely the best quality. Plan ahead and make this holiday season unforgettable at D. Geller & Son. Their showrooms in Kennesaw and Sandy Springs or online at dgeller.com.
All the news, weather, and traffic you need. 95.5 WSB.
Giving you the truth, not the talking points. It's the Eric Erickson Show.
It is the Eric Erickson Show. Jeff Katz, happy to be pinch hitting for Eric today. Are you due for a raise at work? If you are, you need Elon Musk advocating on your behalf. You got to get him to negotiate your next deal. The brand new pay package for Elon Musk is pretty doggone cool. It could be worth about $1 trillion. How to envision $1 trillion? If you took a dollar bill and then you had $1 trillion of it, I don't know. I can't even begin to wrap my head around a number like $1 trillion. or even $1 billion. Nor a kajillion, like the great economist Homer Simpson likes to talk about. But $1 trillion. But if you think that Elon Musk just gets it because he shows up at work every other Thursday and makes the coffee or something, there's a little bit more to it than that. He has to grow Tesla in a major way. Company right now has a market cap of about $1.5 trillion. For him to get that first chunk of stock, to take that first big step towards the $1 trillion for himself, he's got to grow that market cap from $1.5 trillion to $2 trillion. That's a lot. And then there are all sorts of other benchmarks. But you know what? If there is anybody who is going to do it, you and I both know it's going to be Elon Musk, a trillionaire. Man, what could you buy with $1 trillion? Jeff in for Eric. It's the Eric Erickson Show.
Get the WSB Radio app.
This story is breaking right now.
Get notifications from your source for news.
If you have the WSB Radio app, then you saw the breaking news.
Get the WSB Radio app.
Don't miss a thing with the WSB app.
Download it from the App Store today.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 2:30, I'm Bill Caiaccio with our top story. It's day one of reduced flights at some of the nation's biggest airports, including Hartsfield-Jackson in Atlanta. Because of the government shutdown, it is affecting some travelers today.
I was invited back to Alabama for Thanksgiving, but I decided, I'm not going to take my chances.
Unfortunately, I'm going to have to tell my job that I'm going to be late. I'm praying that they get this together because this is horrible.
Despite hundreds of canceled flights, most air travelers are not negatively impacted by the reduced flight schedule so far. A violent felon is convicted for his role in operating a multi-million-dollar drug trafficking and money laundering operation from inside a Georgia state prison. At the time, 46-year-old Jarvis Matthews was serving a life sentence without parole for murder. The U.S. Attorney in Atlanta says Matthews used contraband cell phones to run the operation from his cell at Calhoun State Prison. He used his fiancée, girlfriend's, nephew, and his own 2 adult sons to distribute the drugs in and around the Atlanta area. You may have noticed an earthy mustiness in your drinking water recently. More and more water customers around the metro area are experiencing the effect of a natural annual occurrence on Lake Lanier.
When the seasons change, Lake experiences what is called the turnover, and as the water on the surface cools, it becomes more dense, causing it to sink.
Jessica Sterling with the Chattahoochee Riverkeeper says the good news is the water is safe to use. After more than 200 years, the Farmer's Almanac is ending its run. It was first published in 1818. It is now 2:31. This news is sponsored by FGA Roofing. Up next, live team coverage of traffic and weather.
Hey, contractors, builders, you guys are busy. You have time to hang out at the lumber hut waiting for someone in an apron to wander over and ask if they can help you? I didn't think so. You need Randall Brothers. Dave Baker here. Randall Brothers has the widest variety of quality building materials, plus they have the experts on site that understand what you want and will get you the supplies you need and on your way. And Randall Brothers provides excellent customer service, actually has for over 140 years. Big enough to stock it all, local enough to care. See them on the web at randallbrothers.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877 Cars for Kids.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Hi, I'm Andy, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. As a product development manager, I make sure every piece of fine jewelry at Shane Company is meticulously designed for quality. From 14-karat gold chains, pearl necklaces, diamond studs, and of course, dream engagement rings. We know you can get your holiday gifts anywhere these days, but knowing your loved one's gift was crafted by master jewelers? It's a difference everyone can see and feel, no matter the price. All of our fine jewelry begins with a vision by our in-house designers. Then, we ensure each piece meets our high-quality standards every step of the way, including the smallest details. It's why our jewelry comes with our all-inclusive, free lifetime warranty that covers everything and doesn't cost a dime. At Shane Company, there's no shortcuts, just craftsmanship. Because a friend wants your fine jewelry to be nothing short of perfect. Come see for yourself. Visit us in store or at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Will my hair really grow back? Do I still get to have a birthday party? Can my teddy come into the machine with me? Will you stay with me tonight, Mommy?
Every day, kids at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta ask questions they should never have to. By giving today, you can help us answer them. With your support, our kids get the care and treatment they need. And even a birthday, they'll never forget. Give to Children's for that. Donate today at choa.org/give.
It's 2:34. Time for live team coverage of traffic and weather in the 24-hour traffic center. Alex Williams.
Now, some better news through Midtown and downtown, Bill. Just watched all lanes get blocked and reopened. 75-85 southbound at North Avenue, exit 249. Trouble moved off to the right. Already slow, though, back to the 85-400 merge. And the earlier crash in Tucker, 285 northbound, the outer loop at La Vista Road, exit 37. That's cleared. Looks like we've still got trouble south of there, though. 285 northbound, the outer loop just north of I-20, exit 46, blocking the lane. Slow before Flat Shoals. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. Increasing cloud cover through this afternoon. An isolated rain shower possible for the ride home today. Afternoon high 74. Lows tonight in the low 60s as rain showers move through. Drying out tomorrow afternoon, high 75.
It is 70 in Ackworth, 72 in Conyers, 71 in Fairburn. More news at 3 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
Jeff Katz, that's me. Happy to be filling in for Eric. Here is what Elon Musk might get. $1 trillion. You know what he might not get? $1 trillion. There are standards. There are things he has to do. Let me give you a couple of these targets. And this pay package for Elon Musk, approved by more than 75% of the shareholders of Tesla. Well, I'm a shareholder in Tesla. I know that. I don't think I voted, unless my financial advisor, financial planner voted on my behalf. But as a shareholder in Tesla, I'm pretty happy with what Elon Musk has done with Tesla. I have no interest in buying an electric vehicle, for the record. I think the technology is really, really cool. I really do. I'm fascinated by it, but I personally don't have any interest in owning one. But if somebody else wants to buy one, fantastic. I'm not going to build you a charging station. I'm not going to do any of those things. But if you would like to buy it because you want it, well, that's America. That's sort of kind of what we do here, right? Or at least that's what we used to do here. Seems to me that if you want one, and you have the money to buy one, then you should buy one. And that's what the shareholders of Tesla say. If all of the targets are met, Elon Musk will make $1 trillion in shares. He will add more than 423 million shares to his current holdings. He'll have an increased presence, increased ownership in Tesla. It'll go almost double from 13 to 25%. But he has to hit these benchmarks, and they're not easy to hit. Not even close to easy. But again, if he can do it, then he deserves every single penny. And if there is somebody who is going to do it, I'm telling you, it's him. You know, there is a real genocide taking place in Nigeria. President Trump is one of the few people standing up and talking about it. Because President Trump is talking about it, there are a whole slew of folks who are dismissing what is a real genocide taking place in Nigeria. It is a genocide being directed towards Christians in Nigeria. I've got a couple of snippets here I need you to listen to. Let's start. First one here is going to be cut number 2, please.
Now to the latest on President Trump threatening military action in Nigeria, claiming its government there is allowing Christians to be targeted by terrorists. Our chief White House correspondent Mary Bruce is tracking this one for us. Good morning, Mary.
Good morning, Robin. Well, President Trump is now issuing a fresh threat to Nigeria after accusing the government there of allowing the killing of Christians. In a video posted on social media, the president says if the killings don't stop, the U.S. will cut off all aid and is threatening possible military intervention, saying, quote, we're going to do things to Nigeria that Nigeria is not going to be happy about and may very well go into that now disgraced country guns a-blazing to completely wipe out the Islamic terrorists who are committing these horrible atrocities. The president says he's also instructed the Defense Department to prepare for possible action, promising any attack would be, quote, fast, vicious, and sweet. Now, the Nigerian president doesn't deny the horrific, deadly violence in the country, but is refuting Trump's claims, saying, quote, the characterization of Nigeria as religiously intolerant does not reflect our national reality. Officials say the terrorists are attacking Nigerians broadly, regardless of religion.
Wow. Even something as straightforward and as simple as this, there has to be a spin, and it's so sad. It's just, I would be embarrassed for those ABC pseudo-news hacks if, in fact, there was even a shred of credibility or honor amongst their whole team, but there's not. So I guess I can't even be overly upset. I'm disgusted, but I don't know how much time or effort I should put into it. They are totally okay with the slaughter of Christians in Nigeria simply because it is Donald Trump, president of the United States, who is saying this is what's happening. And you notice how they don't even refer to the Department of War as the Department of War, even though it is the Department of War. President Trump changed the name from the Department of Defense to the Department of War. Well, what's the big deal? The big deal is that the president changed the name of it. And you either acknowledge the reality or you continue to pretend that something other than the real world exists, and it's in this alternate universe, this bizarro world, where you're operating. I would be embarrassed as a journalist to do something like that. But it is ABC, so there's not really a plethora of journalists. Also missing, conspicuous by their absence, would be journalists at CNN. Let me give you the latest example of that. Cut number 3.
There have been a number of attacks, 20,000 deaths out of 11,000 attacks. But of those, 385 attacks were targeted against Christians, resulting in 317 deaths. But in the same period, there were 417 deaths among Muslims in 196 attacks.
I don't think you can minimize this, Abby.
No.
There's been about 100,000, upwards of 100,000 since 2009.
Hold on a second.
7,000 this year.
Hold on a second,
it's a real
Scott.
deal.
Hold on a second, Scott. I'm not minimizing. Just because I'm putting facts on the table doesn't mean that I'm minimizing the deaths of anyone.
both sizing it.
I am. No, it's not
both
called
sizing
both sizing it. It's called information.
Okay.
Information is okay to consume. Like, it's fine to say that it is both bad that Christians are being killed and also it is bad that Muslims are being killed. Are you able to say that?
Here's what I'm able to say. Upwards of 100,000 Christians in Nigeria have been slaughtered. It is a genocide. The same
So hold on a
people who are
second.
worried
Hold
about
on.
the Middle East have nothing to say about this.
Scott,
There's
just one second.
7,000 deaths this year,
Hold on a
35
second.
per day.
Scott,
It's
hold on,
awful.
hold on a second.
I care
okay?
about both, and it is wrong that either of those things is happening in the first place. Empathy is not a zero-sum game. We can care about both. And the answer to the question that you were just asked,
So are you against
Scott,
the president intervening?
The question that you were just asked had a simple yes or no answer. And you decided to drag it on.
I don't
You
want
can just
anyone
condemn
to
that this is
die, but
happening.
I'm telling you right now,
Okay.
Christians are being systematically slaughtered, and they have been for years,
But
and
Scott-
nobody cares until
Scott,
Donald Trump.
people-
It's so disturbing. So thoroughly disturbing and disappointing that the CNN people are so devoid of any decency. Here you have the one guy who seems to tell the truth, right? Is there anybody besides Scott Jennings there doing that? And that Abby Phillips, God, the worst of the worst. Worst of the worst. There are moments that I watch that and I think Scott Jennings is so much smarter, certainly than that Abby Phillips and the other folks on these panels, that it's not really fair. And so maybe This is why that Abby Phillips does what she does. You know, where she just cuts him off over and over and over, does not allow him to put anything forward. And then the whataboutisms, the moral equivalency comes out, and it's ridiculous. It gets so flippin' ridiculous. I sort of have to shake my head. It's a weird thing. I know I should be really upset, right? I should just be angry and yelling and carrying on. And then I'm thinking, well, what exactly comes of that? I had this conversation with my oldest boy yesterday. He and I had a big drive to do. Not overly big, but we were traveling from here in our part of Virginia up into D.C. And we were just having a chat. You know, you have these chats, you have the opportunity. I'm always happy to have the opportunity, although I am sometimes apprehensive about taking the opportunity. Because I don't see things in the way that a 24-year-old does. It's certainly not in the year 2025. My gosh. Totally different. But he was talking about something, and he said, you know, I'm angry about this or that. And I did say, why? I asked him, I said, why? What do you mean? I said, what is there to be angry about? And he explained the situation. And I said, well, all right, I get what you're saying, but, oh, you wouldn't be angry? I said, no. Why not? I said, because it doesn't get me anything. Right? I would have to devote time and energy and thought into being angry. And this situation just doesn't warrant that. My time, my energy is better utilized doing something else. I am not angry about what it was that he was talking about. And he just did not understand how I could not be angry. And then I said, well, that's why I can't be angry about that. And he said, well, what about me? I mean, you get why I'm angry. And I said, no, I really don't, which I think made him even angrier. But I said, no, I don't. I said, here's what is happening. And I know I was sort of positioning myself as up here, I guess, talking down a little bit. But I just said, you're not giving the answer that this particular person is asking for. Well, no, I'm explaining this. I said, Harry, so here's what you need to know. If somebody asks you what time it is, your response should be to tell them what time it is, not to explain to them how you should build a clock and how you build a clock. That's the difference. Right? There's some people who overanalyze these things. There are some people who analyze them to the point that the only possible solution is, in fact, to be livid. And then what? You have to ask yourself that. Before you invest the time and the energy in being angry, ask yourself what the benefit is to being angry. Have you, in fact, seen whatever the question is, whatever the issue is, from the perspective of that person on the other side? That is a legitimate thing to do. If you've done that and it's still not working, okay. Then you know, have at it, man. Go do whatever you got to do. Look into it, don't look into it, think about it, etc., 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 etc. But if the default reaction is simply to be angry and livid and crazed as a result of this, that's a problem. Anybody remember Joe Scarborough? Now, I don't mean Mr. Mika, because now that Joe Scarborough is simply Mr. Mika, he doesn't actually have his own opinions, his own thoughts. But there was a time that Joe Scarborough was an individual, an actual human being, and he was a member of Congress, and he was actually very tough on border security issues. Well, now that he's Mr. Mika, of course, that has changed. Take a listen to cut number 9.
I have noticed over the past week or so, the Pope, the American Pope, speaking out repeatedly about the importance of Catholics, if they are good Catholics, to go out and to welcome the foreigner. He's citing the Good Samaritan verses in Luke. Jesus is explaining who your neighbor is. The Pope says we will be judged by how we welcome foreigners. And you have now the archbishops in Chicago and Washington, across the country, delivering powerful messages. The Pope even at one point suggesting it's hard to call yourself pro-life if you support such horrific treatment of those who are alive, our neighbors, as Jesus would say, our neighbors, the foreigner. That's what Jesus said. So if you have a problem with that, don't even take it up with the Pope. If you're claiming to be a Christian, take it up with Jesus, because that's what he says. And so, yes, this is as we see the church get more and more involved in the protecting of the dignity of human beings, of God's children. You are going to see this become a more difficult political issue, yes, even for Republicans who've turned a blind eye to everything that Jesus said in the New Testament about welcoming foreigners, being kind to the least among us. It's just again, it's.
Yeah, no. I totally understand what it is that Mr. Mika is trying to do, but if you have actually read what it is that he's alluding to, then you will fully understand why he is completely and totally wrong. It is Jeff Katz sitting in for Eric. This is the Eric Erickson Show.
Vision Computers built a computer for my son. It's a gaming PC. They actually spent time with him, what he wanted to do, future uses as well. So he got him a machine. It was very reasonably priced with 2 monitors. He'll be able to take it to college. And I haven't had to be tech support because there is tech support. He can call them 24/7, 365, calls a special number. They answer within 15 seconds. And he's talking to a human being, and he gets the answer, because I'm not proficient with Windows 11. You probably aren't. Vision Computer's very proficient with it. They can take care of you, your elderly relatives, your kids, even your business. And you get that special number that you call in 15 seconds or less. You get a human being on the phone. No chat bots, no email tickets. And they can help you, and they can prevent scams. So if you think you're getting scammed, you can call them. They'll get on the line with you and sort it out to see if it's real. They're great for helping elderly parents fight scams and also taking care of their computer needs. Call them at 404-COMPUTE or go to visioncomputers.com. Tell them Eric sent you. Call them at 404-COMPUTE, anybody nationwide.
You're at the intersection of politics, news, culture, and current events. It's the Eric Erickson Show.
251 Coolray Carrier Traffic Center. Traffic Trooper Caleb let me know that crash is still hanging out in DeKalb County. The right lane is blocked. 285 northbound, the outer loop between I-20 and Glenwood Road. You're slow back toward Flat Shoals. Got another slow zone up in Suwanee, 85 northbound. Looks like maybe some crash before Highway 317, exit 111. I'm going to scan the jam cam for that. Traffic brought to you by King's Hawaiian Sliders. Eli Manning reminds you there's nothing like football and King's Hawaiian Sliders. King's Hawaiian Sliders make you a winner on game day. Pick them up this weekend in the bakery or deli section of your grocery store. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
In Atlanta, there is always something happening.
Tanker truck crashed into the median.
The Triple Team Traffic Center has you covered.
No traffic getting through in either direction.
Helping you on your commute.
Avoid the area at all costs. Take Highway 155 or Highway 4223.
Brought to you by the Coolray Lifetime Parts and Labor Warranty.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
This is Scott Slade, and nothing takes the place of time when it comes to spotting problems with your health, especially cancer. The earlier the better. That's where virtual imaging comes in. Virtual imaging's LDCT body scan can be invaluable, giving you more time for you and your loved ones to take charge of your health. They can detect tumors as early as precancerous virtually anywhere in your body, and aneurysms you may not even know are there. Due to overwhelming demand for a limited time, their $995 core body scan offer has been extended. It's a $2,495 value. Early detection saves lives, and now it's more affordable than ever. Virtual Imaging has gotten such great response to this offer that they've opened up more times in both offices, but appointments will fill up fast, so don't wait. Some minimum requirements may apply. Early detection is your best protection. To schedule your virtual imaging $995 core body scan, call 770-678-SCAN. That's 770-678-SCAN. Or make an appointment by visiting their website at virtualimagingatl.com.
Fall is here, and with it comes cool air and heavy rains. All that moisture doesn't just smell bad, it affects the air your family breathes and even your home's foundation. Hi, I'm Jeremy, owner of American Crawl Space Solutions, and we believe in a needs-based approach, recommending only what your crawl space truly needs. No high-pressure sales tactics and no price increase just because you don't commit today. American Crawl Space Solutions, your best value in crawl space repair.
American Crawl Space Solutions, foundations too.
Sell your home with Mark Spain Real Estate and get the strongest cash offer in the industry. You'll save time, make the most money, and eliminate all the hassle. Don't worry about the inconveniences of selling your home. Mark Spain Real Estate's guaranteed offer makes selling stress-free. We've served over 72,000 satisfied clients, and we know what matters most: a quick sale and maximum profit. Find out what your guaranteed offer would be. There's no obligation. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today. That's markspain.com and start packing.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
So right now may be the perfect time for you to rethink how you pay for health care. And here's why. This time of year is decision time for a lot of people, but it's also when you can join Medi-Share and save even more than usual. For many families, joining Medi-Share means saving about $500 a month, which is a game changer for a lot of people. But what's more, Medi-Share members like it. We know this from member surveys. They like it a lot. It's a proven thing now. Medi-Share has been around for over 30 years. It's a Christian community of hundreds of thousands of people now. And here's the thing, too. If you join before November 15th and you mention the promo code SHARE, they will waive your application fee. So you save $100 right off the bat. I'll give you the number here in a second, but just call and you'll get a price within 2 minutes. Again, the deadline is November 15th, so call now. You'll save even more. Here's the number. Call 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
WSB Atlanta, WSB-FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
Your non-stop news source. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
Get the podcast, live stream, email, and social media links by texting Eric to 33777 now.
It is the Eric Erickson Show. Jeff Katz filling in, and we have had a great time. I say we in the royal sense because I never get to say it because, frankly, it's just me. But if I get the opportunity to say it, I'm going to say it. I hope you've had a great time as well. Sydney Sweeney has apologized. Nope. See, that was going to be the headline, wasn't it? It was. These folks were saying to her, she did a sit-down, I think it was in Australia, and she was asked about, GQ. My apologies, GQ. She's asked about that ad she did that got all the attention. And they were trying desperately to get her to apologize. And she said,